After an unusual 5 rounds in the South, the Grand National Cross Country Series has made the trek north. Last time, round 5 and the Camp Coker Bullet saw another dominating performance by Walker Fowler as he took an almost 2-minute win over the rest of the field. Bryson Neal and Adam McGill would round out the podium on a hot South Carolina summer day. This week, an unseasonably cool afternoon is a welcome change from the heat of the South, and the stage is set. From Mount Morris, Pennsylvania, and the hallowed ground of High Point Raceway, this is round 6, the Green Light, Dunlop Tires, High Point GNCC. Can anyone challenge Fowler's perfect season? Find out next, live on Racer TV.
Are you ready to go GNCC Racing?
Hello and welcome to round number 6 of America's Premier Off-Road Racing Championship, the 2020 GNCC Series presented by Specialized, an AMA National Championship. Today, we're in beautiful Mount Morris, Pennsylvania at High Point Raceway for the Dunlop High Point GNCC. And of course, this High Point racetrack is a very famed racetrack holding a national since 1976, an icon as far as the sport of motorcycle racing is concerned. And today, GNCC makes its return here. As far as the ATV side of things are concerned, things are really starting to get exciting as far as Walker Fowler is concerned. Here we are approaching the near halfway at this point. Now, we haven't seen these kind of situations for a few years. The one time that Walker Fowler was in this situation, Johnny Gallagher played spoiler, and Walker only got 12 race wins out of 13 that season. Now, here in 2020, it's definitely a lot different with the COVID and the quarantine and the race schedule being completely altered, but don't think that's changed the focus of your 5-time GNCC champion Walker Fowler. He's looking for 6 championships, not only looking for 6 championships, but also looking to maybe take a perfect streak here in the 2020 season. Can he do it? Well, that question remains to still be answered. He's got a lot of competition coming in from a lot of different riders. Bryson Neal seems to be one of the faster riders on the track, but he hasn't been able to put it together yet this season. Same thing goes for Colton Richardson. Richardson, another rider that's been able to, well, shadow Walker through a lot of his races, but some mechanical issues and a mistake here and there has also kept Cole Richardson out of the running. Jared McClure's another rider that could play spoiler, as well as many others, including your old pal, the Gator, Adam McGill. Don't count him out. And what about the young guns coming into this one? You can't count out Hunter Hart either. This kid has a win lurking someplace, another win, I should say, after taking the win at last year's Ironman. He wants to prove something. He's been riding like that so far in this 2020 season. Maybe not had the chance to prove it just yet, but wait for things to settle in for this kid. He's going to see some pretty spectacular results, I believe. Also, another youngster to be watching out for is the rookie, John Plata, lurking around that top 5. And don't be surprised if he's going to be knocking on the door for a podium soon, maybe even today. We've also got a lot of exciting things going on back in that XC2 Pro-Am class. And you can't leave out the College A class either. A lot of great competition back there. So we'll be watching out for all that as this day rolls on. But right now, let's check in with the current track situation and what this course is looking like. We said it's a lot different than a Mason-Dixon GNCC. And to tell us more about that, here's Bolton.
Thanks, guys. It's been 18 years since we had a GNCC that we called High Point. And yeah, this year, it's a little bit different. We're on the Matthews Farm property where we usually host the Mason-Dixon GNCC. But just because we're over here doesn't mean it feels the same as Mason-Dixon. This has a totally different feel. The vibe's different. The facility looks different. It's very green, really good stuff over here. The Matthews Farm property tends to be a little bit tighter in places, opens up in a few areas, and then you get over to the High Point property, it's a little bit faster and gets a little tighter in some areas. And we threw in some technical stuff over there as well. This gives something for everybody out there, and I know what you're thinking. He says that every weekend, but that's really the truth here at High Point. It's a great event. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. The sun's shining. We want to keep that up. Weather's great. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jared. And now with that, nothing left to do but get ready to go racing. Stick around, folks. We'll be down on the start here in just a couple moments to get this day up and rolling at the Dunlop High Point GNCC.
When you crave the canyon passes, rocky trails, rutted tracks, the podiums and personal records, it becomes part of you. The choice now is, do you become a wanderer or the wanderer? You just need to ride where you belong.
Well, good afternoon as we welcome you down here to the starting line and, of course, round number 6 of America's Premier Off-Road Racing Championship to beautiful Mount Morris, Pennsylvania, and welcoming back all those folks along RacerTV.com listening on the World Wide Web today as, of course, we get set to roll into 2 hours of great and exciting racing here on the Mason-Dixon line at High Point Raceway. And as we get set to roll, let's meet our starting lineup today, going to the line in accordance to points throughout the first 5 rounds of GNCC racing here in 2020. He rides aboard the number 1, rolling to the line first today from Rogers, Ohio, on a factory-backed Yamaha with GBC tires and Fly Racing apparel. He's a 5-time GNCC champion, going for win number 60 here today in Pennsylvania, Walker Fowler. Rolling to the line second today and second in points aboard the number 2 from Bidwell, Ohio on a CST Hauser Racing Wiseco Kimco, Bryson Neal. Rolling to the line today, third in points, riding aboard the number 5 from Casca, Pennsylvania on a Maxxis El Camus Racing backed Honda, the Cobra, Jared McClure. He is fourth in points. He rides aboard the number 3, a 6-time GNCC champion with 75 wins on a Phoenix Racing Honda from Sunbury, Pennsylvania, Chris Bullrich. Currently 5th in points, riding aboard the number 7 from Newfield, New York on a Maxxis Ithaca Recreations WPS Fly Racing Yamaha, Hunter Hart. He rides aboard the number 4, currently ranked 6th in points from Edinburgh, Pennsylvania on an Action Off-Road Teely Energy Racing GBC Moto Oz Yamaha, the Coltrane, Cody Richardson. Aboard the 521 from Waverly, West Virginia, riding aboard the McGill Mafia Over Tires LSR Moose Racing Honda, the Gator, Adam McGill. He rides aboard the number 11. He is currently ranked 8th in points from Akron, Ohio on the B&R Motorsports GBC Hauser Racing Yamaha, Josh Merritt. Aboard the number 712, a rookie from Waxhaw, North Carolina on a Pierce Performance Fly Racing Maxxis Tires backed Yamaha, John Plata Jr. Currently 10th in points, riding aboard the number 10, celebrating his 26th season as an XC1 Pro on a GBC Fly Racing HMF factory-backed Yamaha, Johnny Gallagher. Riding aboard the number 741 from Myersville, Maryland on a Wolf Racing 9.2 FTR Graphic Shield Cycle Barn Suzuki, OWW Wesley Wolf. The 701 from Ithaca, New York on a Custom Axis Gold Speed Hauser Racing Yamaha, Greg Covert. And the 406 from Windsor, New York on a Fly Racing GBC Tires backed Honda, Devin Feehan. And that, ladies and gentlemen, your starting lineup for this, the Dunlop High Point GNCC. Round 6 as we head into the midway point of 2020. I like to call it the midway swing here as we go through these next few rounds. Of course, round number 7 will be the heart of it all, middle of the championship, and we'll be over in Ohio at the John Penton GNCC for that one. But today we celebrate the 6th round here in Mount Morris, Pennsylvania, the legendary grounds of Matthews Farm, and of course the High Point Racing facility encompassing both properties will be crossing the county road here, and of course maintaining a lot of mileage on that High Point side of the racetrack. We will return to this same facility, Matthews Farm, in September for the Mason-Dixon GNCC, where we will run a completely different racetrack. Right now, riders are turning their attention up towards turn number 1, where Ricky Towery is readying the competition for today's start. As I like to say, the orchestra of starts that are getting ready to take off here today, and Ricky takes his place out in the first turn region now, checks his watch, and signals to the riders 1 minute before the start of this 6th round of racing. Ricky will check his watch as these riders begin their final preparation for today's competition. The next time we see Ricky make a move, it will be the waving of the blue flag, which will signal 30 seconds. And of course, a dead engine call and a hush across the GNCC Racing Nation. Shut them down, guys. Shut them down. Shut them down. Shut them down. It's almost time to go GNCC Racing. I got to ask you, here at High Point Race fans, are you ready to go GNCC Racing? I heard it. Yeah, right there. Yeah, I heard it. But let me tell you, I'm going to ask you one more time because, folks, we are in the heart of the GNCC Racing Nation right here, right now. So let me hear it. Are you ready to go GNCC Racing? 10 seconds. And row number 1, the XC1 Pro, will be off and rolling at this Dunlop High Point GNCC. And the early lead, number 5, that is Jared McClure grabbing the early lead on this one as we head over next to check in with our second row, the XC2 Pro-Am True Landers, Tanner Walker, Michael McAvoy, Charles Dunn, Kenny Schick, Brandon Owens, Nick Rowe, Daniel Peters, Levi Cohen, Noah Mickelson, Wyatt Wilkin, Dylan Walraven, Austin Abney, and Ronnie Rush in 10 seconds.
You're killing it. You're killing it.
Row number 2 off as we're looking for a hole shot here.
Trying to get a number on that hole shot there as we turn our attention to the College A class next.
It's 4-0-something.
4-0-0. Noah Mickelson grabbing the hole shot on the Phoenix Racing Honda. 10 seconds for the College A, 16-21. Chase Vitro, Dalton Keys, Grayson Eller, Frankie Grass, Wesley Wirtz, Jay Stinney, Trey Seifert, Cody Forrester, also Davis Brinson, Chase Allison, Seth Wilson, Gavin Jenkins, Devin Masters, Corey Vanderliner, and Mikey Nichols as we round the first turn into the second turn now. Looks like the 470 of Chase Allison out of McClellantown, Pennsylvania. Max's Custom Access and Department of Power backed ride, grabbing the early lead on this one. Junior A 22+ class, Nick Davidson, Justin Miller, Josh Adams, Jeremy Ladon, also Caleb Edwards, Zach Wright. 10 seconds. Alex Elliott, Dylan Taylor, Justin Collins, Brad Enderell, Kyle Percy, Jay Shadron, Mike Isaacson, Chandler Berner, Justin Eisen, Tyler Miller, Jonathan Crayenbush, also Troy Gum, Brennan Marsh, Cody Parmurder, and Brody Livingood rounding the first turn. It is Jeremy Ladon, motocrosser extraordinaire and two-wheel GNCC racer on the Ladon Racing Machine, taking the early lead. The Vet A 30+ class, Big Papa P, Jeff Pickens, Brad Whitehead, Dirk DeCesar, Chris Conkle, Aaron Hendershot, Wes Kinsley, James Green, Tommy Coons, also Zachary Phillips, Tom Muscala, and Michael Lancaster in 10 seconds. Drag race, big Pickens out of Shamokin, Pennsylvania on a GBC Motorsports Waynesburg Yamaha, backed by Fly Racing. Off next to the Senior A 40+ class, hardcore Jeff Harvey, Shane Worth, Dave Naylor, also Bouchard, Brian Axline, looking at John Lynn, TJ Barrett, Brian Foltz, Mark Batson, and Dale Batson in 10 seconds. Senior A 40+ class off and rolling around on the first turn now as they get it sorted out. 451, TJ Barrett. Barrett out of Mooresville, New York on a Rick Snyder Racing, Barrett Brothers Sato and O'Neill back machine as we go to the College B, 16-21. 10 seconds. Stan the Man Johnson, Jonathan Steiner, also Darren Sheets, Braylon Secure, Colton Dobbs, Corey Redmond, Levi Myers, Dominic Stevens, Ethan Fike, Ben Neville, Ramey Wilkinson, Bobby Duker, Jacob Fleming, Michael Snyder, Jonathan Fickley, Josh Turner, Jared Kemp, Hunter Gotze, Alex Nelson, Chance Hickey, and Caden Ryan. .404. Trey Redmond out of Sharpsville, Indiana. Redmond Excavating, Hauser Racing, Liat Protective Services, Protective Devices, I should say. And next to the Junior B 22+ class, 10 seconds. Nick May, Jared Rollins, Joseph Murphy, Timothy Ryan Mazzella, Chris Leak, Harley Boley, Alan Blavos, Clint Watson, George Corbin, Luke Lohan, Zachary DeNoble, Jacob Allball, Corey Pancake, Nick DeCallo, Stephen Hainham, Sean Newhouse, DJ Woloninski, Travis Raphael, Stephen Martin, Tyler Swain, Brant Barna, Max Pittenger, and 5:15 up front is DJ Woloninski from Finelyville, Pennsylvania, BNR Waynesburg Motorsport back right. Also Doug Fisher, Jerry Speakman, Henry Moore, and Jonathan Landis in that class. As we go to our next row, trying to down there. There he is. 10 seconds. Nathan Tickle, Daryl Short, David Kite, Keith Stewart, Thomas Bundy, Ben Dunlap, Jason Ellis, Rodney Cooper, Danny Mayo, Cody Holcomb, Dave Ashby, Wesley Smith, and Cody Stewart. Whoa! I'm not 100%, but that might have been Ben Dunlap out of Greenville, PA, as we move to our next row here, looking for Ricky. Can't find him. 582 Nick Lamberno in the senior B40 plus class taking the early lead. Jason Lindley, Greg Phillips, Scott Wilhelm, Daniel Dakota, Ivo Pahalik, Justin Flaviano, Russell Fry, Jeffrey Kuhn, Chad Wallace, Robert Steetens, and Scott Yadis all off and rolling in that last start there. Sorry about the delay there, making sure we had the right road, right classes. We are off and rolling. That's some, wow, over 150 riders out here. We had some 250 earlier the day, and even earlier than that, we had a bunch of youth riders and micro riders. So a nice, healthy turnout here as we roll into another historic day of racing here at Matthews Farms and High Point Raceway. Of course, the Dunlop High Point GNCC rolls at you right after this. The big question is, will anyone stop Walker Fowler? Stick around to find out. GNCC Live continues after this.
Yamaha GNCC University returns, calling all ATV and motorcycle off-road racers. Are you looking to hone your riding and racing skills? Want to learn hands-on with the best of the best past and current GNCC racers and champions? Then sign up for the 2020 Yamaha GNCC University, returning to Snowshoe Mountain Resort September 23rd through the 25th. We're bringing together Yamaha's ATV and motorcycle racing elites to instruct in-depth courses on fundamentals of racing and riding. During the Yamaha GNCC University, students will participate in lectures about sportsmanship, training, proper nutrition, and mental preparation, along with hands-on skills and drills designed to improve your riding and confidence in a variety of terrain and situations. Reservations are on a first-come, first-served basis with limited openings, evenly split between the disciplines. For more details and to register, call Snowshoe Mountain Resort at 877-441-4386. We look forward to seeing you at the top of Snowshoe Mountain, then on top of the podium.
It's a big world out there. How do you choose to see it? When you crave the long canyons, rocky trails, rutted tracks, and lonely highways, they become a part of you. Podiums and personal records, we choose it all. Because life is about moving and feeling. It's about being connected to the adventure. Some just never pull the trigger. They keep waiting, wondering what it means to wander. It's a big world out there. You just need to ride where you belong.
Inside every Yamaha lives the heart and soul of a competitor. The DNA of a champion. When you ride with us, it revs your heart and becomes a part of you too.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gasket seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best inside their engine. Cometic Gaskets are always constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environments. Whether it's a championship on the line or a day in the dirt with friends, professionals and enthusiasts alike depend on Cometic. Cometic Gasket, sealing championships since 1989.
It's hard to put our adventures on hold, but now is the perfect time to prepare for their return. AMSOIL has your back with fast, free shipping, and ordering has never been easier. Just look up your vehicle, select your product, add an oil change to your cart, and check out. Spend $50 on AMSOIL products and shipping is on us. Order now at AMSOIL.com.
Even when you're the best, you never stop striving to be better. With over 40 years of experience in motorcycle sales and service, we know racing. Our inventory of Yamaha motorcycles, sport bikes, dirt bikes, ATVs, and side-by-sides is extensive and constantly changing. Stop by LoJack Cycle Sales today in Tarentum, Pennsylvania, and visit our online inventory at www.lojacks.com. Yamaha YZs. It's why we ride.
Live coverage of the 2020 GNCC Series on RacerTV.com is brought to you by MMI. Get there faster, smarter. Specialized turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. And by RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
Got me? Got. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to RacerTV.com. We're here for GNCC Racing at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. Just underway with our main event here this afternoon under partly cloudy skies, just about 72 degrees in ideal conditions to make this one of the greatest rounds of the summer. And I can tell you right now, taking a look at this course earlier, we have got an extremely fast course today. Got a few tight spots out there that they put in for special effect, but I got to tell you, typical kind of southeastern PA soil, going to be just a little bit soft here in the fields today. As you can see, going to get just a bit powdery out there. Had a little bit of sprinkles yesterday, possibly a few more today, but right now looking very good as far as things are concerned in the fields. Going to move out into the woods here in just a moment, take a little better look at that. But the reports we got this morning had moisture coming up, had traction all over the course from one end to the other. So look forward to great racing here this afternoon. Taking a look at the Yamaha Skycam overhead, I believe this is a shot of our leaders right now. Not sure exactly what mile marker that is, but here we go, headed back into the woods. I believe this is for the second time that we're headed back into the woods right now. And you can see we got about a pack of 5. So that lead pack going to consist of about 5 riders right now as they make their way back into the woods for the second time. Right now, the second group starting to enter the woods as well, but right now we have our leaders across the road on the other side at the High Point Raceway, actually. They have worked their way over and into that patch of woods near the Russell line. Yeah. What we're taking a look at right now, folks, is where you enter the High Point facility from over here on Matthews facility. You can see that they got a nice transition into the grass track over there. The grass track was used last week during Loretta Lynn's regional qualifier, or actually, I'm sorry, 2 weeks before that at our open practice. That was actually the first open motorsports event in the state of Pennsylvania as far as we know, and a lot of work went into that to get proper protocol into place so we could have that event. And here we are just a matter of 3 weeks later, and we have a GNCC race here live in Pennsylvania when a lot of places, you know, you can't even go you can't even go shoot basketball. You can't go play baseball somewhere, and a lot of work is going into this by our team, upper management at MX Sports, GNCCRacing.com, all the guys over at the AMA as well. Everybody's really been at 24/7 trying to make this happen. It's been phone call after phone call, permit after permit, day-by-day basis. You know, you could get the phone call at any given time, but the fact that we're out here doing this is an achievement itself. And what we are is an example to the rest of the motorsports world. So by us following protocol, by us being the perfect example, by us putting everything and the precautions in place and maintaining those, we're going to be able to move forward with our sport and be leaders to others that would like to do the same. Awesome. Bryson Neal, almost blows the corner down by the lower pond over there at High Point. And sure enough, Bryson on the gas right now, drifting that thing sideways, working up across that off-camber. And, wow, Bryson already having a few seconds of breathing room well into this first lap. Looks like things getting a bit powdery as you move back into the woods, but you can see the difference in the color right there of that dirt. You can see the moisture still in the surface over there, so that's really good to see. Taking a look at all of the XC1 leaders now, pretty much got themselves sorted. That looks like mile marker 9, so 9 miles into this thing, everybody's starting to set just a bit of a pace. But these days, there's no real such thing as a pace in GNCC. It's basically a 2-hour sprint. What we're looking at here is the lead set of riders have definitely separated herself. About the top 8 or 9 riders have definitely separated herself. Bryson Neal taking advantage of clean air and clean track, not having that roost, not having that dust in his face right now. Really going to put that to use. Going to take advantage of that and going to see exactly how that plays out as he rounds out this first lap. Now, earlier in today's racing, in the morning race, had Lane McCormick. Lane McCormick, one of our schoolboy senior riders, taking the overall win. Absolutely just put it to everybody. The 4x4 Pros, the WXC, I believe he was about 5th place on the first lap, worked himself into 1st place overall on lap 2 and never relinquished that lead, although Landon Wolf was physically first every lap of the race from lap 1, 2, 3, 4.
I was going to say, take special note, Landon Wolf isn't in the TV booth today. I think he might be licking some wounds right now.
Yeah, he better not be. He better not be. He better get over here and give us some help. Sure enough, Landon led every single lap, Rodney. Just within a second or two each lap is how consistent he was on his lap times. It wasn't until lap 3 or so that Lane, on adjusted time, put himself in that position. But I got to tell you, Landon was in control of that thing from start to finish.
Well, there's our rookie, John Glotta Jr., out near the 9-mile marker. Megawatt, I haven't had a chance to keep up with the scenario and situation unfolding, but I like the way the course is designed here, where you can see parts of the other track. Actually, about 4 different lanes, 5 different lanes of traffic there, so plenty of things to watch here in this this particular shot here at the 9-mile marker. Let's take a look at how this thing got all underway today, Megawatt, as we pick up on the action of the start replay here at this Dunlop Tires High Point GNCC. It is the specialized replay, and as you can see, a good jump off the line here, and I believe it was Sneaky Snake. Look at that. It's raising up like the Cobra does, and he takes the whole shot in the early lead in this one, and, you know, that's kind of interesting. You know, Walker Fowler has been one of those riders that's been an amazing starter and hard to beat for most of the time, and off the starting line. We go to row number 2, and this has been a mix and a variety of different starters on this one. Although Motocrosser, the number 400 is what I was told, got the whole shot, went across the whole shot stripe first, but I don't know that he necessarily got the early lead, because we saw a lot of those white machines moving up into place, and that was Phoenix Racing Honda. So got to give it to the Motocrosser on his start. He was last year's College A overall, champion in the College A class, moving up to the XC2 Pro-Am class. He's found his struggles out there, but he's starting to find top 5 positions whenever he, in the finishes and things, so things are starting to look a little bit better there for him. But, yeah, good start for Sneaky Snake, a.k.a. the Cobra. I like the way he pulls that
impressive.
Yeah, that was. And here we are nearing the completion of lap number 1, and that looks like we're looking at the Sneaky Snake right there. Was that the number 5? Yes, it is. The Cobra.
Wow.
Wow, he strikes hard, he strikes fast, he strikes first. He's got a 6-second lead now over the Coal Train, Colton Richardson. And ironically, man, coming into this one, a lot of folks looking at Walker Fowler and win number 60, and Walker Fowler, you know, he's only 5 seconds behind Cole Richardson right now, so that puts him 11 seconds or so, maybe 12 seconds out of first place position right now, and you're like, oh my gosh, Walker's not up front. Yes, it is. It is. And, of course, with McClure out front, Richardson in second, Walker Fowler in the number 3 spot. We know that McClure is capable of going fast. He's capable of the 2-hour sprint that you mentioned there just a moment ago, Megawatt. Cole Richardson, the same thing. Walker Fowler, we know, is capable of this. And here's the ironic thing, a 1:56 win at the last race. And I know in talking with Walker, and you know, he just wants to get out. He likes to win. But if he's going to get this, he said, if I'm going to get a lead, he says, if I get to stretch it out like that, my goal is, if I'm not racing wheel to wheel, I want to beat these guys by at least 2 minutes. He says, if I see 2 minutes, .00001, I'll be satisfied. If it's anything less than that, he's going to be disappointed. That is if he can get out and stretch these guys. And that's going to be a tough bill to follow here today. Here in Pennsylvania, we're getting back to familiar territory for a lot of these guys. Jared McClure, you know, he's he's more of an East PA guy, but he's a PA guy. Cole Richardson, he's a PA guy. You know, he's used to these areas up here. Bryson Neal, a couple hours from where we're at over in Ohio. He's kind of used to that. By the way, Bryson Neal back in the number 4 spot. Wesley Wolf in 5th. The rookie, John Glotta Jr. in the number 6 spot. Hunter Hart, the sophomore, in 7th on the number 7. Adam McGill, who had a great run 2 weeks ago at Camp Coker, running in the number 8 spot. Josh Merritt back in 9th. Devin Feehan rounding out the top 10. And look at this. We got Brandon Owens already checking in the XC2 Pro-Am class. Now, I have blown the horn for Brandon Owens on more than one occasion this year. He has shown us the speeds. He has shown us exactly what he's capable of, but he's not been able to put it together consistently out there. Of course, he's had a lot of competition. He's got Austin Abney out there. He's got Drew Landers out there. Both those guys are really tough nuts to crack. Drew has won, I think, 4 of the 5 races so far this year. Austin pinging in on 1. Austin is right there on the nipping at the heels of Drew Landers through many of those wins as well. So it's been a pretty exciting one. And then you've had, as we said, that young rider in that number 14 or 13 spot, Brandon Owens, who I've been told is the next guy that is going to face off against Walker Fowler. They said, forget everybody that's in the XC1 Pro class. Forget about all the hype of everybody you're talking about. Brandon Owens is the guy. Now, consistency, we haven't seen that. Speed-wise, in glimpses, this kid's a lightning bolt, dude.
You know, it's interesting that that's the prediction. That's the call by some people. You know, Roger DeCoster pulled Ryan Dungey out of the B class and took him to the pros.
Right.
So, you know, somebody saw something right there. And, you know, when I listen to your passion, when I was watching your face talk about this young man, you're truly impressed with his skills, his ability. What it sounds like to me, we need just a bit more conditioning maybe.
Yep.
We need to have more track experience, more high-level experience in this pro class. And other than that, if we can put the speed that he has together in these sections or these bursts of speed, when we can connect those sections and when he gets the racecraft that these gentlemen have, well then, you know what? That may very well be the next real test.
Exactly. And, of course, as we look at the rest of the XC2 Pro-Am class, as we told you, Owens out front. He is 13th overall, 14th overall, 17 seconds behind him right now. Austin Abney. That's how much of a lead this kid's already got on the first lap. And I say it like that because it's impressive whenever it's over guys like Austin Abney. It's over little guys like Little Ron or whatever his name is. He's a rapper now, Ronnie Rush.
Absolutely.
And the 714, Tanner Walker back there in 4th place, Michael McAvoy in 5th, Dylan Walraven in 6th, Kenny Schick in 7th, Wyatt Wilk. Drew Landers back in 9th place position. Keep an eye on that number 14 machine. He's going to be something to reckon with. And also Noah Mickelson, the motocrosser. He's a rookie AMA Pro ATV motocrosser, and he is a XC2 Pro-Am racer as well. So he's back in the number 10 spot. He got the early lead on this one as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the track map so you folks can get an idea of what we're racing on here today. The Yamaha Racing track map, and I believe this one is somewhere in the neighborhood of just over 11 miles in length today, Megawatt. And I know that if you look at it, you see on the right side, the top side of that is the that is the Matthews Farm side. There's a lot of track over there. As you can see, the High Point side's kind of tight. There's not a lot of property over there. And I remember when we used to run GNCCs over there, pro pits, all the races were over there. We had the full track over there. We can't squeeze enough out of it now to do only a High Point, only GNCC. So we got to split it up between these two. But a good portion of that is through the High Point terrain. So anybody that's raced here in years past, it's kind of a homecoming for them. Right here could be very interesting for them, I think.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. And you mentioned tight. When we saw that other camera shot, you saw the track coming back at itself, running beside itself. Some of these almost look like a crisscross on that track map where they intersect. But what that does is that really puts opportunity into this course.
It does.
Is what it does. Yeah, it adds some length and that type of thing, but it puts opportunity. The guy who's on his game today is going to be able to use some of these shorter sections and some of these tighter sections to really either make a move or put some distance between himself and somebody. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Welcoming Landon Wolf, the winner of the 4x4 Pro Class today. Have you licked those wounds,
every lap.
Yeah. Have you licked those wounds, though, man? Poor little Lane, man.
You don't have to take that, okay? Believe me, Landon, you do not have to take that.
What's going on? I can't hear you, man. Uh-oh.
We were having problems with one of those earlier. That's why I'm on this one.
All right, well, grab that thing right
here.
there.
Let's put him on this because I haven't had lunch yet.
Okay, go ahead.
So let's put him on this. And before I'm going to hand this over to you, I got to tell you props, dude.
Yeah.
Your consistency was absolutely unbelievable today. I'm sure you guys have already talked about it. But I saw some of your laps within like a second and a half. One of them looked like 3/10 maybe from the lap ahead of it. That's incredible, dude. And I believe that's what I read. There was a lot going on. But your composure today, your poise, your race management was incredible, dude. I can tell you that, absolutely. And it was very impressive. You led every lap, that you came through, and able to put a little extra space. And I didn't see the same coverage that we're seeing now, but you found something somewhere that you were able to keep that consistency where guys were varying. Maybe there was a bottleneck somewhere. I don't know. Okay, and some lappers, but you used them to your advantage. And that racecraft was excellent today, so congratulations for sure.
Okay, now that he's done blowing sunshine up your butt, I'm going to cut on you for a minute. No, Landon, he's absolutely correct, man. I mean, got to tell you, but and hats off to Lane this morning as well, too. But
big thank you to Megan Watt. That was awfully nice of you to say. Although I did get beat by a kid.
On a 250.
Lane. The kid. They're coming. Dang kids.
What was the overall adjusted time difference in you?
Actually, I haven't even seen it, but I think it was like 40 seconds. It was a good track for some sport. I shouldn't even say that. Lane killed it.
Right.
This has been a long time coming for him.
But I will say it for you. There are some tracks that are more likened for a 4x4.
Yep.
And some that are more likened for a sport ATV.
Yep.
And I will say it for you. This is more of a sport ATV track. There's some open, faster sections out there that allows the sport ATVs to gain a little bit of ground on the overall adjusted time. But regardless, that takes nothing away from the race that you guys have been having out there in that 4x4 Pro Class.
Yeah, we've had some really good racing. But, yeah, absolutely props to Lane McCormick this morning. I mean, it's so cool to see him succeed so early on in his career. But, 4x4 racing has been really, really good. Cody Collier, myself, and a couple of the other guys, we have had some epic battles. Cody Collier was really on his game today, and in my opinion, dang near pretty much had her won. And I just had some lappers, and he got around me because of a lapper. I got around to him because of a lapper. So
that poor guy can't buy luck, man.
He's had some bad luck, and that's what I told him after the race. I said, Cody, I feel bad. I mean, he had it. I don't want to say in the bag because I still had hope for sure, but man, he was pretty much had her in the bag. He's been riding really, really well. So it's been really good racing. But moving on to the afternoon race, Jared McClure out front early.
Yeah.
Not normally a great. I know him a little bit.
But did you see it though? He pulled a wheelie like in turn 3, and he looked like the Cobra. I mean, it looked like he was striking. It was the coolest thing we saw in the replay there just a few moments ago.
Yeah, he's on. He looks like he's pushing. The other one is Colton Richardson in second. He won this race 2 years ago, and I think he did really, really well here last year. The only one we are missing in third is actually Borch. I don't know if you guys picked up on that or not.
Yeah, I kind of did. Any reports on what's going on? Is he just
Transponder's not working is all.
Oh, that's the only problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Is he on the? He's on.
Oh yeah, he's moving. He's in third. He's
see, I didn't see him come through there, so I missed that.
Yep.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, he's in there. So Walker Fowler, well, I don't know about right now, but when they came through the finish line, Walker was in fourth. Chris Borch was in third.
10-4,
so
copy that. Good
after
play.
that, everybody moved back one position. But considering how dusty it is, I'm actually a little bit surprised how tight-knit everybody is.
I'm surprised how
close.
dusty it is considering the rains that's came through here
Well,
this
the
week.
woods are perfect. They could not be any better. I mean, my race bike that I just raced on, you could almost clean it with an air hose. I mean, it is perfect. There's Jared McClure on screen, still out front. We'll put a little bit of a timer on him. Cole Richardson, yeah, about 5 seconds. That is all. There they are at the Monster Mile.
We should be seeing.
We should have Borch next.
Yeah, Borch. There's
Oh,
Borch.
there
Look
was
at that.
Borch. Bryson.
Heel.
So Bryson has gotten around Walker.
Where is Walker?
Where is
not
Walker?
Even, Walker's not even in the mix of these front four guys.
Oh my!
Right now. Wow. And I mean,
so I just said to a buddy of mine out there, watched him come through pro pits right after the finish line. Very unusual to see Walker in fourth after one lap. Second, third, maybe, but fourth after one lap. I mean, that's Walker's. He's quick. He's quick to make moves. He's quick to make to the front. Here we have Wesley Wolf coming through. Maybe we missed Walker, but I did not see him. John Glauda, Hunter Hart. There's a trio of youngins right there. I mean,
I'm gonna get on the radio real quick.
Yeah, we'll come see if we can get an update on Walker quick. He's gonna radio out to the team members out in the woods. But at the 4 mile mark, I know there was a little bit of a split line there, and as far as I know, I did not see Walker Fowler. So it will be interesting to see if he shows up. Josh Merritt coming through right now. Okay, we just got confirmed that Walker did not come by here at the 4 mile marker, so not good news for him. Now, there's Team Yamaha in the pits. I don't know if they have heard the news yet or not to see if he has or has not come through, but looks like they might be a little confused on where everybody's at. Here we are at the 5 mile marker. Jared McClure, the Sneaky Snake, still out front.
I can't get any confirmation if there's any issues or problems for Walker right now.
I don't know if you heard it, but we did get confirmation that he did not come through. Okay, so we did check. Oh,
wait a minute,
no,
there he is. He's in third.
He is
I just got an update from Jeff Russell. It said let's say 5, 4, 1, 3, 2 is
5,
what he
4, 1, 3,
yeah,
2.
so,
that makes sense.
So I was like, okay, I thought that he said 1 in there, but I didn't want to go out on a limb. So Walker is in the third. He's just that fast, dude.
Yeah,
he's just that fast.
Well, I knew that it was kind of tough to see. There was a split line. I know they kind of tried to look at Chris coming through, and then I think they just missed Walker.
All right, we'll get a better.
Understandable.
Yeah.
But
out here at the 5 mile mark. Is that the number 5?
Yep.
Yep, that's
Jared
Jared
McClure out into the field section. So right here is where they switch from the Matthews Farm side to the High Point side.
The big tires today, or is it?
Nah,
that looks like they almost look big. It must just be the way the quad's sitting. But man, it's handling nice out there today. It looks like. I mean, he's got things set up beautiful.
He's Jared's funny because he's been running almost the same setup for a long time, and he's really got it dialed in. He normally is not great on his starts. I know he's normally mid-pack and even closer to the back of the pack. So to see him, did he get the whole shot?
Yeah.
So whole shot and all.
Yep.
Pretty impressive out of him. And
every time I've seen him, he's been in the lead.
Yeah, that's a really good start for him. I'm sure he's pumped on that. He's probably not used to being out front this early.
This doesn't seem to be bothering him, and he seems to be having fun.
He seems to be enjoying himself. So I think we're close here. I think it's only about 1.5 miles from where they go in the woods till they come back out. So we should be seeing him here soon. So we have McClure. As we see on the camera, we have McClure, Richardson, Fowler, Borch, Neal, Wesley Wolf, John Galata, Hunter Hart, Adam McGill, Josh Merritt. Feehan I did not see on the screen, but I think we actually might have just switched screens before him. How about XC2? What was our running order? Have you got a chance to talk about that yet?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that. Actually, Drew Landers is all the way back. And just to point out something, I don't know if something's going on here, but we've got the entire class of senior A40 plus riders in 13th place on back.
Aha.
So
really ripping it today.
They should be. They should very well be.
Well,
24-minute lap times. I mean, their lap times look legit. You know what I mean? Because 20-minute lap times for our pro riders on their first lap. So, hey,
something must just be a little squirreled up right now.
Yeah, our XC2 boys must have slowed it down a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, maybe. So Brandon Owens was out front early.
Actually, I don't know what's going on. We'll let that all get sorted out there between those folks. But right now, let's see. What was I looking for?
XC2.
Yeah, the XC2. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I was on it.
So we have Brandon Owens out front. Austin Abney in second with 17 seconds behind. 19 seconds behind him was Ronnie Rush. And
What's his rapper's name? Little Ron?
Lil Rondo.
Lil Rondo. That's it. Lil Rondo. I wanted to give him props on that. I get Snapchats and stuff from him.
Yeah, there he is. There we got the Jared McClure on screen at the 7. Looks like he's flowing good, Rodney.
Under no pressure, it's just he's out. He obviously is running very, very quick lap time right now, but He looks like he's out on a Sunday cruise. He does not appear to be pushing it per se, but he's got a very fast pace going right now.
This is his home state, so maybe he's comfortable here, and things just seem to be working a little bit better than they normally do.
He seems at home right where he's at right now.
Yeah. And I haven't got to see Walker on. Oh, there he is. So the gap's about the same, or not Walker. I'm sorry. Cole Richardson looks like he's still in second. Walker in third. Keeping his sights on Cole Richardson there.
Now, here's a big question. You know what it's like for racers' mentality, and you probably know Walker pretty good. I mean, Walker, we've seen Walker come from behind. He's hit trees, he's clipped things, he's got bad starts and had to work his way through the pack. He got off to a start, and he stayed about where he started at this whole race. He hasn't necessarily been able to close up time, and but these guys haven't really been able to stretch out away from him. But he hasn't been able to make the passes up to the front of the pack where he's normally used to being and trying to stretch his legs. So what do you think's going on there?
I don't know. I will say one thing before we talk about that. The gap between third and fourth has,
it's
huge. Huge. I mean, just the last camera shot, they were all right together. Yeah, it's different for Walker. The track was very fast today. Their fourth just jumped onto the screen there.
Yep.
So we got, oh, no. That's back at the 5 mile line.
That's actually the 171. That's Grayson Eller. That's your college A. That was your second place rider, and I think that's third place right behind him as we're watching those guys. See if we can give some love and some props to them. Chase Allen leading that one by 16 seconds, but that's Grayson Eller and Trey Seifert. These guys battled like this for 2 hours down in Georgia a couple of rounds ago, and both of them saying, man, I really like good tight battle, but man, it'd be nice just to be able to get out there
a little bit.
have a little bit of breathing room, because they were like that on
XC2 leader on the screen there. That's Brandon Owens.
Yeah.
It is fun to have good battles, but I tell you, after 2 hours of it I remember in Georgia, how hot it was down there.
Those boys were whooped. I'm sure, and there's Johnny Gallagher on screen. We see him there. I think he might have moved up into a top 10 position there as we watch him maneuver his way.
I'm not sure. I saw Abney in there. I can't believe he would have had that big of a lead over Brandon just yet.
No, unless something's changed, because he had Brandon had a 16-second lead over the rest of the field when we came through the finish line. Now, that was about half a lap ago, so a lot of things can change in a half.
Yep. So we'll have to wait till we get them either back on screen or back through the finish line. But man, back to what you were saying, Walker trying to get up into the lead, and normally he's much quicker to do it. The track out here is spectacular. As you said earlier, I got the chance to race it this morning, and really, really fun track.
By the way, yeah, and speaking of track, what we're looking at right there is the High Point Motocross facility across the road, top of the hill here. These riders are winding their way down this grass field section, and they'll cross the road. They'll go over on the
They're
other
actually
side.
already across the road there. So that's the field side
on the way back. Return.
Yep. So we run right past the High Point track, and man, we were out last night over there looking at that track. They have it all groomed up nice, and it looks good, ready to rip. So yeah, it's a really, really, really nice track. A lot of different stuff, a lot of flow to it. I think everyone's going to be really happy with the conditions out there. There is Trey Seifert coming through the battle that we had just seen on screen a little bit ago. Actually, I don't know if he was the one that was with Grayson.
He might not have been.
Yeah, I think that might have been somebody else with Grayson. Trey's got a little bit of a gap now.
He's looking back behind him. Let's see who that is behind him.
Yeah, it's not Grayson there. I haven't got eyes on Grayson just yet. But Trey Seifert really, really killing it this year. Came out strong, I know. Oh, here we got Jared McClure back on screen, and this should be close to maybe, I'm going to guess, and roughly say the 9-mile marker. And this is where the dust is getting gnarly out there. This is like old access roads. So we'll see Jared come out of the woods shooting from the right-hand side, right past those Rocky Mountain banners there. And any second now. So, but this is where Jared might be able to get a little bit of a cushion just because of the dust. Because as you see, as he goes up this hill, might get a little. Oh no, after he comes back out of the woods again, a little bit of dust. Okay, so I missed.
Is that?
Did I miss it, or am I going
right
crazy?
there?
Yeah, because Borch and Neal are still right behind Walker, which I totally did not see that.
I didn't see that before either.
Yeah. And maybe I'm going crazy, but I could have sworn they were going.
I can say I'm going blind. I'm old.
Yeah.
I got a lot of excuses.
Yeah,
But you
what's
don't
my
have
excuse? Come on, give me some.
Camera optics or optical illusions.
I'll blame it on the guys in the show.
There you go. Sorry. But yeah, again, talk about this little section here. I mean, like if you go down, you go up, you go around. Yeah, it is.
So you go across this power line into the woods, back into the power line, back into the woods, back into the power line, and back into the woods. So I actually really enjoyed this section because on the first lap, I was able to look down the hill and see where everybody's at in the lineup. Right. And then as the race goes on, I kind of gauged. This was a place where I gauged myself to how I was performing like throughout the lap without getting a pit board saying. So, you know, I could see where people were. Adam McGill has jumped in front of all of the, I don't want to say rookies, but rookie-er riders. John Glauda, Wesley Wolf, and Hunter Hart. Adam was behind all of them.
Rookie-er.
Yeah, rookie-ers. Is that word?
That works for me. I like it. I
feel like everyone knew what I meant.
They did. I just thought it was creative, man. It made me chuckle, man. Wow, what a day! In already, I mean, we're sitting here somewhat baffled, but and I can expect that that's something that will probably be all day long as far as that is concerned. I keep getting. I'm gonna have to take this watch off. I got one of those watches that I get my messages, and my kid keeps texting me. He's like, "Dad, I need a new Raptor 250. See if you can find me a Raptor 250. Dad, I want a Raptor 250. His birthday's coming up, so he is not letting up on that. So if anybody's got a Raptor 250 out there, maybe.
There you go.
Need it dirt cheap, by the way.
So that's our XC2 leader. Who is that?
That was Brandon Owens was our leader, the 246.
I could have sworn there was green plates on there. Like that looks like Brandon down there on the bottom. I know Brandon's a small guy.
Wow, I don't know.
So XC2 might be a little mixed up. I'm anxious to see what kind of names we get coming through there. Okay, so yeah, that's Brandon Owens right there. And here we are just before the finish line. This is about not even a half mile, quarter mile before the finish line. We should get Jared McClure coming out of the woods here any second. People are hustling across the track. Something must be coming.
There wasn't too much of a sense of urgency there, so it must be a little bit of open track there.
A little bit
you get a little bit And so you get in that flat grass out there, you don't want to take any chances, that's for sure.
It's actually a pretty good hillside there. It looks pretty flat from here, but
well, I mean the grass flat against the ground.
Yeah. There you go.
That was an off-camber section,
right,
I guess.
There we got Jared coming through. I mean, 2 laps in, still got the lead. Let's say I know Jared's had Cole still in second, Walker in third, Chris Borch still right behind Walker. So and Bryson Neal right behind him. And I know Bryson's been racing a lot of locals here recently, really starting to catch his stride, and things are starting to click a little bit for him. So if he can get through the pack, he's going to be someone that's going to be fighting for the win as well.
Well, this lap somewhere, I think, going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 25, 26 minutes. We'll get the 25:16. So Jared McClure checking in 25:39. So I was closer to 26 minutes. 25:39 also for Colton Richardson, and that gap now is just 6 seconds between McClure and Richardson. They rode pretty identical lap times and not much change as far as the deficit between first and second. Walker Fowler 1.3 seconds back at 25:35. He turned the fastest lap by 4 seconds, but still didn't really gain any ground, it doesn't look like.
Right, what a battle for the lead though. Not often. Here we are 2 laps in and we have a 5-way battle for the lead. That's
pretty impressive.
Rare.
Bryson Neal checking in the number 4 spot now. Now again, Chris Borch's quad or transponder not working, so we're going to
well, I think it is now. So, oh yeah.
Borch was just in the pits.
Chris is in front of Bryson. He just pulled out of pits in front of Bryson. How about oh no, he hasn't checked in for his second lap yet. Brandon Owens was pretty far up there that first lap. There goes Jared McClure. We got the drone shot. Catching him running through these fields out here, but wow. Oh, Jared did not pit. Everybody else did. Ooh, that's risky business.
Now, is it or is it not? Because oftentimes we see these quads can run a good hour plus.
Well, it will certainly go the entire time. Like, it will easily make it through this lap, but if that train of guys catches him and he has to pit yet, they're all going to go by him at once, which would hurt.
Yeah,
so he needs to push like mad this lap to make sure that they don't close in on him. So it looks like every single one of them pitted though.
Yeah, and they're all nose to tail right now. You can see Bryson Neal checking through there in that number 5 position out here at the 1 mile marker. The FMF PowerPoint. Tell me a little bit about this section, Landon.
So I believe we have it on 2 sections at about the 1 and then maybe the 1 and then maybe like the 4 or 5 mile marker. It goes this way and then back again the other way. So it's just not many. There's not many hill climbs or anything like that out here, so it's nothing too special. But it is a pretty good spectator point for these guys to drop down into this little creek bed or whatever you would call it, and then get back on there. And then actually running out of there, it's an off-camber section for like a good half mile. So just as right here you see Wesley Wolf, they make this right-hand corner, and it is some tough terrain out through that way.
And I've ridden a lot of off-camber. I've ridden races where there's off-camber, and the one thing that people have got to understand, when you say off-camber, people think, not a big deal, off-camber. But off-camber is very tricky to ride, and it's also very taxing physically to ride.
It is. It takes quite the toll on the body, and especially on four-wheelers. I mean, the bike is sitting completely off camber, and suspension handles different. The weight of the bike is being thrown different, and it's very, very tricky. So,
and like you said, probably more so for an ATV than a
absolutely, yeah. The bikes are able to still sit upright, just not flat on the ground. So yeah, very, like you say, very taxing on the body and can be tricky.
Well, Jared McClure continues to lead after 2, opening that lead up to over 10 seconds now. Missing the pit, Cole Richardson still second. Fowler, Chris Borch, Bryson Neal rounding out the top 5. Is this going to be the day that somebody puts the brake on Walker Fowler, or will he get win number 60? Stick around to find out. GNCC Live continues after this.
Yamaha GNCC University returns, calling all ATV and motorcycle off-road racers. Are you looking to hone your riding and racing skills? Want to learn hands-on with the best of the best past and current GNCC racers and champions? Then sign up for the 2020 Yamaha GNCC University, returning to Snowshoe Mountain Resort September 23rd through the 25th. We're bringing together Yamaha's ATV and motorcycle racing elites to instruct in-depth courses on fundamentals of racing and riding. During the Yamaha GNCC University, students will participate in lectures about sportsmanship, training, proper nutrition, and mental preparation, along with hands-on skills and drills designed to improve your riding and confidence in a variety of terrain and situations. Reservations are on a first-come, first-served basis with limited openings, evenly split between the disciplines. For more details and to register, call Snowshoe Mountain Resort at 877-441-4386. We look forward to seeing you at the top of Snowshoe Mountain, then on top of the podium.
Even when you're the best, you never stop striving to be better. With over 40 years of experience in motorcycle sales and service, we know racing. Our inventory of Yamaha motorcycles, sport bikes, dirt bikes, ATVs, and side-by-sides is extensive and constantly changing. Stop by LoJack Cycle Sales today in Tarentum, Pennsylvania, and visit our online inventory at www.lojacks.com. Yamaha YZs. It's why we ride.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gasket seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best inside their engine. Cometic Gaskets are always constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environments. Whether it's a championship on the line or a day in the dirt with friends, professionals and enthusiasts alike depend on Cometic. Cometic Gasket, sealing championships since 1989.
Hi, my name is Andrea Lieb, the director of On Track School. How would you like to go to a school where we take into consideration how students learn best? Well, we do that because we find if we can build the curriculum around the things you are interested in, you're going to do a better job. The mission at On Track School is that educational success is possible while chasing your dreams. Not only will our staff help students to achieve success, they will cheer you on to the finish line. We encourage you to check out On Track School at ontrackschool.com, where we can help you chase your dreams and still get a quality education.
It's hard to put our adventures on hold, but now is the perfect time to prepare for their return. AMSOIL has your back with fast, free shipping, and ordering has never been easier. Just look up your vehicle, select your product, add an oil change to your cart, and check out. Spend $50 on AMSOIL products and shipping is on us. Order now at AMSOIL.com.
I am Tanner Tremaine. I work for Rockstar Husqvarna Factory Racing, and I am with Craig DeLong. Craig, as far as settings, I wouldn't say he's picky at all. He's particular, but picky's not a word that I would use for Craig. He's easy. I mean, every rider comes in and they always want to adjust their levers, adjust their bars, and you can have them exactly where they were, week previously, but they're going to move them a little up and then a little back down to exactly where they were. But it's just a peace of mind. But no, he's pretty good. He runs a pretty base setup. He runs a seat bump on his seat just to hold him in the saddle a little bit better. Tire choice is one of those things that definitely varies week to week. This week we're kind of predicting a little bit more dry, hard pack. We'll see a little bit of rain potentially, but Dunlop makes an AT81, and the AT81 rear tire has been flawless. Hard pack, it's really good when it's a little loamy. So that's definitely our tire of choice for this week. But precautions that we carry into every race weekend is, going on rebuild days, we frame the bike completely. Down to the bare frame. We pull every bolt, we inspect absolutely everything, clean everything, and just make sure that the bike is 100% ready for Craig or any rider to do what they can do and to the best of their ability every weekend. And so I feel like that's kind of what we have up on maybe some other teams is we do spend a ton of time preparing everything. That way our end is dialed and Craig can go out there.
All righty, and welcome back to GNCC Live, and Tanner Tremaine, a nice Motorcycle Mechanic Institute mechanic spotlight there as we pick the action back up here on lap number 3, mile marker number 4. This is the Monster Mile, and there's your second place ride, the number 4 of Coltrane. Colton Richardson. Looks like alternate line choices there for the number 1 of Walker Fowler. He's starting to try to find those shorter lines around the racetrack right now. And there's 4th place.
Bryson Neal has gotten around Chris Bort. Still close, but I know Bryson is going to be pushing to get up there behind that number 1 of Walker Fowler. That way he can not let him get out of his sights.
Well, you can see Walker's going into strike mode now. I think Walker, he's kind of settled into that pace, and this is kind of out of sorts and out of ordinary for Walker, but Walker is still in position. He didn't get to where he's at, lurking on win number 60 by not knowing how to, and stealing a phrase from Megawatt, manage the race management. And that is one of the biggest topics of conversation whenever you hear people talk on TV, you hear commentators talk at the racetrack, race management. And it is probably more important in GNCC than any other discipline of motorsports racing. Maybe NASCAR, it race manages pretty good too. But this GNCC, it's a game as much as it is a race. I mean, it's like we mentioned there just a few moments ago, talking about the pitting strategy of Jared McClure, electing obviously not to pit at the end of lap number 2. It could pay dividends, but from what we're seeing right here, I don't know. It may not. Both those guys are closing up. You got Walker Fowler closing up on 2nd. That's going to put some drive behind the Coltrane, and that's going to push them likely even closer to that number 1 position, number 5 of McClure.
Here we are at the 5-mile marker, so just about 1 mile later.
We did have about a 10-second gap or 12-second gap.
He's at now. We are all right there just as he got into the field. Wow,
he's really opened
seconds.
up. Yeah, he's opened
wow,
this up.
Jared.
I'm looking at 15 seconds right here.
Yep, we're right at 15, 16 seconds back to 2nd place. So he needs to have at least 10 seconds to be able to pull into pits and get back out.
Now that's a good point right there. We're near the halfway point of the lap. We're at mile marker number 5. Let's talk about this next 5 miles. Is this the place that Jared's going to be able to stretch things out, or are things going to tighten up? We've got to take into account we're going to probably start hitting lappers pretty thick on this lap.
That's going to be the biggest issue for Jared, and the second half there is a really tough place to get around lappers. It's very fast, but it's also very, very single line. So Jared, he's got about 6 miles to go in the race, and this is the time he needs to run. Because if he only has a 5-second gap on all of them, when he comes into pit, he's going to go to 5th place real quick.
Well, here we go. Here's the battle for 2nd place, the 4 and the 1. That again is the Cole train, Cole Richardson and Walker Fowler running 2 and 3. Walker Fowler looking over his shoulder to a gap that is starting to widen up now to what looks to be probably about 6 seconds now. Bryson Neal, I don't think he's going to let those guys break away too much.
No, Bryson's really going to try and chase down Walker and keep him in his sights. He knows that that's the guy he needs to follow through the pack.
And interestingly to me, and I noticed this at the last round, I noticed, and I made mention of it while you were in booth, I think, that Bryson really didn't seem to be riding like aggressive kind of Bryson that we're kind of, I guess, used to seeing ride. It's almost like he's finding a flow and a groove. Not saying that his aggression isn't is not fast. It's just that it's a different style of riding. Is something going on there?
I just don't know if he's had himself in that position yet. I mean, I think he's got like 4 second places, but he hasn't really had to put himself in that position to really say, all right, this is my time to charge. And I think right now he's in a great position. He's 3 seconds, 4 or 5 seconds off Walker. If he can get up behind him, and he knows that this is the time to chase him to the front and make a pass. Another thing I wanted to mention, Adam McGill didn't have a great start, came from the back of the pack, had a spectacular race last race.
Yes.
And seems to really be putting on a good charge. Yeah, he's really starting to find his flow and seems to be making things happen. So
he's up to the 6th place position now. There is a little bit of a gap, about 49 seconds between 5th and 6th, but McGill has gotten around the rookie of John Glada. Glada, you know, I've been kind of used to seeing Glada battle for a top 5 position. 5th and 6th place position is what we've been seeing him run in a lot as of late. So obviously it's a challenge for him today. Wesley Wolf's got a good run going for, I mean, Wesley's had some struggles this year, so in 8th place right now is pretty good for Wesley, I think.
Yep. And he's up against some very stiff competition. So yeah, I mean, everyone out there in that XC1 class is really ripping it, and it's going to be exciting to see. I think this is one of our most exciting races that we've had so far this year. I mean, the situation we've got set up, it's going to be fun to see where it goes. There we have Jared McClure back on the 7-mile marker. Once we get him to the end of this field, I'll see if I can get a time on him. But man, 7-mile mark, he's got about 4 miles to go to the finish. This right here, this last 4 miles, I really feel like is the time where Jared this is his time to shine. He's got to make sure he gets into pit and gets back out in the lead.
Wow, I tell you, not many people can say they lead wire to wire. Walker Fowler is one of few that can say that. If Jared McClure does this, he might be able to stake those claims as well. And man, talk about a show of dominance today. I mean, just pure dominance. As I don't know what is different for Jared McClure, but other than, like you said, he's here in the north again. He's in familiar territory. He's in the state of Pennsylvania. I think he's a little farther east, but regardless, I mean, this is where a lot of different riders start to shine at this time in the season.
Walker has gotten around Cole, but 15, 16 seconds in between Jared and Walker.
Now, did you see that little squirrely move? That
I didn't. I was looking at my watch.
Well, I wonder, was Walker doing that purposely to try to kick up more dust?
Yeah,
I
maybe.
mean, it almost looked
part of the game.
Yeah, it almost looked like I was thinking that Walker was getting squirrely for a second. Then I'm thinking, no, that is a way that he's trying to kick up more dust plumes back there to try to put a shield between he and that number 4 of Cole Richardson, now back in the number 3 spot.
Yeah, this is, we got some good stuff going on here. Hunter Hart out in the field by himself. Where was he at?
Hunter was in the 9th place position.
9th place, so he was behind Wesley and John, and it looks like he has gotten around both of them and really opened up a gap.
You know,
there's John and Wesley.
All right, here's that specialized replay. Let's watch here and see see, there's the little kick out.
Oh no, I think he just hit a little kicker in the corner and it tossed him sideways.
Yeah, I wasn't for sure if that's what it was, but notice how he is using the dust berms on the outside of the turns, while Cole is using the inside lines, trying to skirt the dust cloud that's coming from behind those wheels in that open section there.
So we've got a good battle going on here as well. John Glada Jr. and Wesley Wolf going at it out here in this field section. It's nice to have field sections like this out here so we can really see how these guys are interacting and pushing each other through here. And I guess this is about the 7.5, and then he actually gets to come through this same exact field on the way back into the finish line. There we have Junior A on screen. There's a familiar face in the number 1 spot. I don't know if you picked up on that.
I did, and that's where I was going to go next, actually. I was taking a look at the overall, and about this point in the race, I like to start looking to see who the top non-XC1 or XC2, or what we call the top amateur. Guess what class is that again? The College A class. Guess who's up front in that right now? Grayson Eller, 19th place overall position, which puts him in the lead now of the College A class. He was, what, 3rd place position and several seconds back at one point?
I think he was second, 19 seconds down of Chase Allison. So he made that up and put 3 seconds on it.
Wow.
So yeah, that's definitely, he had a good second lap there.
Hideously fast lap, 27.46 to a 28.05. Now, Chase may have pitted on that lap. I don't know what the pitting strategy of the Phoenix crew is over there right now.
Right.
But nonetheless, it's going to be interesting to see how that's going. Grayson Eller, Chase Allison, then Trey Seipert back in 21st place. They got the top
they
three.
Got a good battle.
Yeah, 1.7 seconds. There's 5 seconds that separate the top 3 in that College A class
so
right now.
that's definitely a class to be watching right now.
Wow, they're burning it
there
up
we
right
have Brandon Owens coming on the screen. Looks like he might have just been looking for his Camelback hose. Was he? Did we still have him in the number 1 spot?
Yeah, he's running 10th overall right now, as a matter of fact.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow. What an
in the
impressive
gap
ride.
now, last gap. Remember, 38.5 seconds back to Austin Abney to 7:03. He was 17 seconds back behind. Well, no, that was on lap number 1. 38 seconds. He's now 12th place overall position. So, actually, he remains in the same overall position, I think. Abney does, but Brandon Owens moves up into 10th place overall in that lap. Johnny Gallagher. We'll be talking about another Johnny G coming up tomorrow with Johnny G.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about getting those guys on 10 seconds and quad radio together, have the 2 Johnny G square off together.
Oh wow!
You know,
here we go. Let's see what kind of gap we have here at the 8-mile marker, somewhere in there. Oof! They're closing in.
Mercy.
Not much. About 13.5 seconds from Jared back to Walker Fowler. That's going to be a fast pit stop.
Yes,
Jared's guys need to be down there ready to rock and roll if they're going to want to get back out in front of Walker, because
I think instead of a full tank of gas, it'll be a splash of gas.
Just give them a little, just enough to get to the finish. That's all we need. So
it'll be interesting. Hopefully, you got a camera down there on VP Fuels Pro Row for the MMI pit stop. That will be awesome. The MMI pit stops are always interesting to watch, and the strategies that people have whenever they go down there. I mean, some get a full tank of gas, some just get a splash. You know, it's interesting. That's still 3rd place position holder right there.
Cole's in a really good spot right now too. I mean, I know we haven't really got a chance to talk about him, but hot on the heels of Walker Fowler, and Walker Fowler is closing in on Jared little by little. Good spot for Cole to be in, and probably is pretty happy.
I'm not sure where those guys raced last weekend. I don't know if it was a PA local race or if it was CRA. Well, Cole won. Yeah, beat Walker by what, like a minute 30 or something?
Yeah,
like that.
Cole's an animal. I mean, the kid has so much talent, and Walker. I think Walker just brings a little bit of a different game when he comes to these races. You know, this is his bread and butter, and
that does make a little sense.
It does, yeah.
Bring out your. I mean, you're going to go ride, but you won't take risks and chances. Probably
he
at a
uses it for practice.
Right. You would take. I mean, risk versus reward there. I think. You know, giving away a win at a local.
Right. And that's an outsider looking in. You know, I don't know. Maybe
Walker likes the window. He likes. I mean, remember, he is the kid that raced motorcycles and ATV, so he could get 2 trophies in one weekend.
Greedy kid. Save some for the rest of them.
Well, look at him. He's trying to catch up all the wins. He's working on 60 wins, man.
So if he wins today, it'll be 60.
Number 60. And you know,
so
last year.
15, but is Chris 75?
75.
Chris Borch at 75. Isn't that crazy? 75 XC1 wins. And there's only 13 races in a year.
I know. That's nuts. Bill Balance is currently 2nd in overall ATV wins with 67. Chris Borch has 75 for the all-time wins record, whether it be for motorcycles or ATVs.
Yep.
So pretty interesting, man.
So if Walker had the season the way he hopes it goes for the rest of the year, he will pass Bill Balance by the end of the year.
Yes. Hey, Megawatt, Matt Watson has found what's going on, Megawatt?
Hey guys, we're down here with Mark Notman, Walker Fowler's mechanic. Mark got off to a little bit of a slow start today. Got some different conditions. See plenty of moisture out in the woods, a little bit dusty here in the fields. What's the plan today from moving forward from here?
Hopefully you can bridge the gap up to Jared. I know Jared's got to stop this lap, so hopefully we can get right on Jared's rear wheels, and when he pulls in, take the lead and hopefully sprint from there and build a gap up.
Traditionally a really good starter. Traditionally always in the first two bikes. Just sleeping a little bit today. Just lapse of concentration or what?
I don't know. Last two races he's been struggling. So luckily this one was better than last week. But yeah, I think he was a little sleepy on the starting line today. Just didn't get a good jump. Still went in the woods about fourth. So.
Right on. Well, we know you'll move forward. Good luck.
Hopefully. Thanks.
Back to you, Rodney.
All right, thanks a lot. So, did Walker go to sleep? I mean, the dude's been running like second, third place, fourth place position, top 5, right there with the leader all day long. And he's like, what's wrong with Walker? I mean, but, that just goes to show you what is expected out of Walker, Fowler. And we're not cutting on Walker by no stretch of the imagination.
he's made us believe that. So keep an eye on that computer there. Let's see what kind of gap at the finish line, because pro pits are immediately after the finish line. Well, Jared McClure just now checking in. Walker Fowler should be 10 to 15 seconds behind.
I think that Jared sunk the venom in on that Cobra strike. I saw him pull the wheelie off the start.
Here we go. We got big Jared sitting there ready to splash some fuel in him.
Fowler in 11 seconds back now. Cole Richardson in
11 seconds.
3.9, call it 4 seconds behind Walker Fowler right now.
This is going to be tough to get in and out. I will be impressed if they no goggles.
Wow, they're taking a lot of gas.
Yeah.
A lot of gas. A lot more gas.
He's out.
Yeah, he is.
Jared McClure is back out in the lead, and look at that right behind him. Man. Wow, that was close.
Wow, that's what maybe 6-8 bike lengths separate those two riders.
And
it's going to get
not
tighter.
Even a second.
And watch this, and I think we've got a big open field section coming up. We're going to get a nice. Nope.
No, they go in the woods. We're going to drop down the hill here, and there they are. So we should see them at the FMF PowerPoint here at the 1 mile marker any second. So and then we go into that off-camber section we had already talked about. But wow, I was anxious there. I didn't think he was going to be able to get in and get back out in time. And man, he had maybe a half a second to spare, and that was.
But
about
now that we're here one lap later, and we talked about the big risk, the big gamble, it paid off.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, he held his lead, and maybe if he would have pitted, he wouldn't have came back out in the lead on that lap.
Well, he would have had a lot more pressure on him. He would have exerted a whole lot more energy. He actually played, I think it was a good move on his part. Now he's got the energy to battle with Walker Fowler that he wouldn't have had he done it in a tighter race on lap number.
Not to mention, in my mind, Bryson Neal's about 5 seconds down on Cole, I just counted, but not to mention, in my mind, I think it would be a little bit better to pit later on. You're over halfway through the race, and you got your 4 seconds of breathing in. So, I don't know. I prefer to pit as late as I can. So, maybe that was his strategy there.
There you go. Look at that. There is Hunter Hart. He
back out.
Yeah, he tried to utilize that. And Hunter, let's see what he's done. Remember, he was, 9th place at the end of the last lap. Hunter is all the way up to 7th place. He's only 30 seconds now behind Adam McGill. He's gotten by John Glott. He's gotten by Wesley Wolf. So there you see it. Wesley is in, and John Glott are both in as well in the 8th and 9th place positions. The gap between Glott and Hunter Hart now 17 seconds. So Hunter's really opened it up.
He's putting the hammer down. There we got Adam McGill coming through the FMF PowerPoint at the 1 mile marker, and like I say, I mean, he just really seems to be. I know I said it earlier. He's had a little bit of a slow start to the season, but really seems to be getting in the groove a little bit and having a little bit more fun with it.
Yes, he is. And as we're watching action out here at the 1 mile marker, you mentioned a few moments ago about last year's top 3 overall or something like that. No. Remember, we are not at Matthews Farms. We're not at the Mason-Dixon GNCC. We are at High Point. The last time we ran a High Point GNCC was 2002. Bill Balance was your winner. Bradley Page was second. Matt Smiley was third. Chris Borich was fourth. And Rob Hertz if you remember that name.
No,
Rounded
I'm
out your
missing
top.
second and fifth there. I'm not. I was very young at that time.
Well, folks, I tell you what, we've got a barn burner striking blaze here. There's no doubt about it. You're not going to want to miss 1 minute of this. Stick around. Jared McClure leading barely over Walker Fowler. Cole Richardson, Bryson Neal, Chris Boards rounding out the top 5. Stick around. GNCC Live continues. Will Walker get win number 60?
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gasket seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best inside their engine. Cometic Gaskets are always constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environments. Whether it's a championship on the line or a day in the dirt with friends, professionals and enthusiasts alike depend on Cometic. Cometic Gasket, sealing championships since 1989.
Even when you're the best, you never stop striving to be better. With over 40 years of experience in motorcycle sales and service, we know racing. Our inventory of Yamaha motorcycles, sport bikes, dirt bikes, ATVs, and side-by-sides is extensive and constantly changing. Stop by LoJack Cycle Sales today in Tarentum, Pennsylvania, and visit our online inventory at www.lojacks.com. Yamaha YZs. It's why we ride. We are American motorcyclists. We are members of the American Motorcyclist Association. Racers, fans, and crew. We come together for this sport we love, to race together, to grow together. We start young and not so young. We race motorcycles and ATVs. We become friends, we become family. We compete for weekend bragging rights and national championships. We make memories on the toughest off-road courses in the country and on the best motocross tracks in the world. Some of us aspire to the speed and poise of road racing or the fierce competitiveness of American flat track. And we honor our greatest champions in the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame. Through it all, we cheer. We win and we lose. We are racing. We are the AMA. Race with us. Be part of the greatest sport in the world. Be an American motorcyclist. Join us today at www.amajoin.com/join-now.
The Yamaha GNCC University returns, calling all ATV and motorcycle off-road racers. Are you looking to hone your riding and racing skills? Want to learn hands-on with the best of the best past and current GNCC racers and champions? Then sign up for the 2020 Yamaha GNCC University, returning to Snowshoe Mountain Resort September 23rd through the 25th. We're bringing together Yamaha's ATV and motorcycle racing elites to instruct in-depth courses on fundamentals of racing and riding. During the Yamaha GNCC University, students will participate in lectures about sportsmanship, training, proper nutrition, and mental preparation, along with hands-on skills and drills designed to improve your riding and confidence in a variety of terrain and situations. Reservations are on a first-come, first-served basis with limited openings, evenly split between the disciplines. For more details and to register, call Snowshoe Mountain Resort at 877-441-4386. We look forward to seeing you at the top of Snowshoe Mountain, then on top of the podium.
Coming from Northern Virginia, I moved out to Morgantown in 1986 to come to school, and found out what a mountain bike was. So at that time, bought a mountain bike and really had a lot of fun with it. It was cool. So I'm the manager of the Walmsley Cycles, and have been there really the whole time that I've been riding. So, whatever, 30-something years or just about 30 years, and have seen all sorts of people riding, what they're into, why they ride, and really now that the EMTBs have come around and they've gotten reliable, the motors are super fun, the battery is long enough to go for good rides. It's really opened the door to a lot of riding for everybody. We have young riders on them that they just want to have the fun. They don't want to do the climbing. They aren't in it for the fitness. They just want to go out, ride mountain bikes, and have fun. But then we also have everybody through the range of people that they want to be competitive. They want to go hard. Well, on the e-bike, you can go hard. You can get that workout if you want to, and then it lets riders who are older still keep riding and have that passion, and it's healthy for them. It's a healthy, comfortable way to ride a mountain bike in West Virginia. It's steep and loose, and it's a very difficult terrain that we live in to ride mountain bikes, and with the e-bike it really just opens up the door of range, exploring, doing the hill twice instead of just once. Yeah, it's been a really cool experience.
And that's Colin Dearman, and of course our specialized one of our specialized spotlights that we have here today. Speaking of which, Colin is one of our animals when it comes to the EMTB GNCC. He will be performing in tonight's EMTB GNCC round number 3, which will be getting underway shortly following today's ATV main event here this afternoon. Welcome back to GNCC Live. Rodney Tomlin along with Landon Wolf and also our good buddy Megawatt Matt Watson out and about, where we've got a new, second place rider anyway right now. Colton Richardson running in the number 3 spot, Walker Fowler up to second, and our leader, who's been leading this one at least last check, was the number 5, the Sneaky Snake, a.k.a. the Cobra. He struck hard, he struck fast, and he must have planted the venom deep because, man, I tell you, he has led this one and opened up a pretty good lead. Now, what we did see was the pit stop. It brought the first and second place rides together, so we don't know what's happened since then, Landon.
Yeah, so here we are at the, 4-mile mark, I think. We're just now, I don't know if I just missed it, but we just got Bryson Neo and Chris Porch coming through. We should get a camera on them here in about another mile or so. Get some good action, get to see how this battle is shaking up, because I'm sure Jared is feeling the heat right now.
Oh, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. And like I said, like any snake, man, he probably feels like he's standing around a bunch of farmers with a hoe, with hoe. Trying to get that head from getting chopped off out there is what he's trying to do right now. But we'll see if anybody can be a snake charmer today and maybe put Jared McClure back. But like I said, he took off with a vengeance today. There's Adam McGill. He is your 6th place ride. Hunter Hart should be checking in. We'll see what kind of ground Hunter Hart has been able to make up.
Yeah, and I'm not positive, but by the looks of it from just watching the camera here, it looked like Hunter Hart was closing in a little bit, and I think we missed Hunter Hart on screen. So here we are back at the 5. Looks like they're dropping down now. Jared McClure still out front.
Wow. Okay, I was going to say, where's Walker? But there he is. Not as tight as what I expected to see this race, to be honest with you. But we get out in one of these open field sections. This could be interesting because Walker is very fast out here in these open fields. Yep. Not saying that Jared McClure isn't, but we know that Walker can really lay it out here.
Yeah, so it looks like still right behind. It was tough to see, but I'm pretty sure that was Cole that was still right behind Walker. So the battle for first is all within 2 seconds of each other, and then maybe, I don't know, 5-8 seconds back to Bryson, and Chris Borch right behind him. So the Bryson-Chris Borch battle has not been able to close in on that lead battle, which I was kind of expecting them to, and doesn't look like it's going to happen at this point. So here they are out into the field section.
Here we go. And here's where we get to see whether or not we're going to see the number 1 machine close up. And look at that right there, still on the rear wheels and that grab bar of Walker Fowler, about the only rider. I mean, I think that we could almost say that Cole Richardson could be classified as Walker Fowler's shadow at a good number of these races this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I think I had already mentioned it, but Cole did win here 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well,
So-
not here.
Yeah, true. Mason
But no, I
Dixon.
know what you mean. I know what you mean. 2-lap card is out, by the way. This is a 5-lap race. That's one thing that we wanted to mention. You got to and said something about that. So, you know, if you're wondering, okay, they're giving up the checkers. No, we still got one more lap.
So when these guys come into the finish line, they will get the white flag. So
Now, here's an interesting point to ponder. Now, they see that Jared went 3 laps without a pit stop. Will any of these guys elect to maybe make a stop with
I can't imagine they will. I mean, the fact that Jared went 3, I mean, it will be a long time on fuel. It should be.
Well, you got to take into account the first 3 laps. There was probably 2 miles shorter in that one. And
Right. Well, we had an hour and 11 at the last lap, minus 25 minutes, so we're right at like an hour 46. So they're going from an hour 46 and all the way to over 2 hours. So, I mean, they're going at least an hour 15 on one tank. So I would think they'd be fine. I'm sure the pit crews have done the calculations and all, but they're definitely going to be low. And one person that will not be low is Jared.
Exactly.
So he's, if it does come down to that, he's in the best position possible.
And I may have mentioned it, but I know that I question why is he taking so much gas considering he doesn't have much farther to go. Now realizing that it was a 5-lap race rather than a 4-lap, it made a whole lot of sense why he took on a lot of gas.
Yeah, he's and it's happened before. Walker's done it. Cole's done it. I'm sure Jared's probably even done it. I'm sure a lot of these guys have done it. And maybe Jared's the smart one for skipping that pit stop on the 2nd lap. Who knows?
Yep.
But it's definitely an interesting strategy, and you know, it definitely could pay off.
Interesting right now, the top amateurs remain the same. However, they have dropped outside the top 20. Noah Mickelson in 21st place position, it looks like. Chase Allison. Now, wait a minute. It's saying maybe Noah's transponder didn't click in any way, but it's showing Noah in front of Chase and then Grayson Eller. Oh, no, wait a minute. Chase Allison, then Grayson Eller. That makes sense. Noah's in a different class.
Yep.
I was thinking Phoenix Hondas. It's actually Chase Allison ahead of Grayson Eller now, and they run 22nd, 23rd. Sounds like we might have Megawatt Matt Watson, and we might not.
We might not. We might, but we might not.
Well, it sounded like
we do have the leaders on the screen though out here in the field section. It does sound like we have Megawatt. So Megawatt, if you got anything down there in the pits, go ahead and jump in. I think he might have just pushed the button on the microphone. I do not see Cole that close in on this battle. I mean, I'm sure he's not far behind, but he's definitely not as close as he was when we saw him at the 5.
Yeah, I mean, now not so
there he is. Yep, that's him.
It's a long shadow. It's getting late in the day.
Yeah, so true. So he isn't. Yeah, he is right there still. So man, what a great 3-way battle for the lead. Not often at an hour and 30 minutes in do we have a 3-way battle for the lead.
Especially in the ATV side of things.
Right.
I mean, now I think it was Florida. We had a really good battle with those guys going down down to the wire.
Bryson was in on it.
Yeah, he clipped a tree like with a half mile or something like that left to go.
I think I do remember there was a really good battle there.
I think that's been the tightest other battle that we've seen so far in the ATV side of things, at least for first place anyway. I've seen some good second and third place battles and things of that nature.
We've had some very, very good battles in XC1. They just haven't always been for the lead position.
Exactly.
We've had a lot of really good battles for like the number 5 spot, number 6 spot, and man, it's been good stuff so far. There we had Adam and Gil rolling through the field section. Next we should have Ryan Hart. He was closing in a little bit, but
check.
I'm thinking I might have made a mistake on that because I do not see him just yet.
Check.
All right, sounds like Megawatt is down there now. Megawatt, what's going on, buddy?
Well, we were actually trying to set a sound level, Rodney, but since you asked, I'm with Alicia McCormick right now. Alicia, you're leading this morning. You had like a 18 or 20-second lead on the first lap. The track really seemed like it suited you. And then I kept waiting to find you on that second lap, and come to find out you were underneath your bike.
Yeah, at the end of the second lap, I was catching the 4x4 pros. I was about 5 deep into them, and I don't know. I don't know if we came together with tires, a tree. I don't really know. It happened so fast, but I cartwheeled and I got stuck underneath my quad. And actually, Caitlin Osborne went and got help for me to get out. But tough day, you know. It never happens when you're in last. But I'm ready to come back for the next one. Super pumped for my boy, though. He got the overall this morning, so it was his type of track. It was just fast, ripping, fun. But I'm happy I'm okay. I think the bike's-ish, kind of okay, but it'll be fine.
We definitely see you next week. We know that.
On to the next one. Thank you.
Awesome. Back to you, Rodney.
All right, thanks a lot, Megawatt. Matt Watson from down on BP Fuels Pro Row, talking with one of our top WXC riders, a former champion in the class, and mother of the overall winner from this morning that happened to beat you.
What a case, kids, Alicia. I mean, what are you feeding him?
No doubt. Well, it runs in the family, bud. I mean,
Yeah, it definitely does.
His
The rider is flying.
Wow.
I mean, he's so small on a little TRX 90, and he bops through the woods so fast on that thing. It's so funny to watch him go.
It's heart and desire against pure talent and desire and heart.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talented, man, but I mean, isn't it crazy? I mean, you feel talented and you feel so blessed to have the talents that you have, but then when you see somebody that's just got a little bit of extra edge,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
wow.
just got that natural talent. That's definitely what Lane has, and Ryder as well. So
but it gives you,
like
gives
say,
you
runs
something to work
family.
for. Though.
It does. Now I just have to.
Because you definitely don't want to come back and face this music
Oh
again.
gosh, I'm gonna hear about it. Yeah.
But no. But again, can't take anything away from the racing all around in all of our classes individually, and you know the overall is something like kind of icing on the cake type thing. But the overall battles, you know, and Lane's got some
leaders on the screen there.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to touch base with the fact that, and look at that, it is the still nose to tail out there.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of great kids in that schoolboy senior class that Lane races against too. We'll touch on them a little later.
Yeah,
on.
and it's serious battles. I mean, those guys. It's not like Lane has a cakewalk. I mean, James Galata really gives them a good battle. There's a lot of very, very fast kids in that schoolboy class.
All right, here we go. Picking it up. It's getting a little hazy
Looks
out
like
there.
Walker is hunting a little bit. You can see him trying to shoot there on the inside, but Cole's not letting him out of his sights either. Jared has just so much pressure out there, and seems to be dealing with it pretty good so far.
Wow, I tell you, with the lapped riders ahead of him right now, this is line choice is very critical. Looks like Snake slithers right on by, as does the number 1 of Fowler, and there goes the number 4 of Coltrane also. I think that guy heard him coming, man. He was getting out of the way.
Yeah, I'm sure it's hard not to hear him coming. They are on the pipe out there. So
it is such a different sound when you hear a pro rider coming.
Bryson's hanging in there as well. And then is this no, that's not Chris. So Chris has dropped off just a little bit on Bryson, but there is Chris.
Yep.
I'm very interested now that you mentioned the whole fueling thing. With the people that pitted early, because it's gonna be a long time. It's gonna be a long 3 laps.
And again, putting into account, you got to take into account the first lap was shorter, so Jared went a shorter time than these guys are going to be going on.
Exactly. When you say Jared went 3 laps, he didn't really. He went about 2 3/4 of a lap.
Right.
These guys are going a full 3 laps.
Exactly.
So that's going to be interesting. I'm very interested to see if maybe they swing in and grab a splash.
Well, you know, and there's a lot of things out here on this trail that could probably be fuel consuming. One of them, they're running at high RPMs right now, obviously. There's dust out there, so the dust, it could clog up the air a little bit, and that's
making
going
the motor work a little bit harder.
Exactly. It's going to make fuel mileage go down a little bit, possibly.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's a few things to take into consideration and factor in here. However, I'm going to weigh on the side that I think they will make it, but there might be one or two guys that maybe didn't get that full splash, that full canister, that might not.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's yeah. I mean, we're running what was Walker's last lap? 25:30.
Yep. Yep.
So he's got to do 3 of them. 25:50. That's an hour 15 plus 2 or 3 minutes. So we're talking hour 16, hour 17 minutes. That's a long, long time. So. I'm interested to see if they swing in, grab some fuel. If they do,
they're probably listening to us right now, and they're probably like, "Oh,
I
yeah,
know.
oh,
sorry if I'm making you panic, but honestly, they're probably not. They're like, shut up, Landon. We know what we're doing down here.
Maybe some guys are. They will take advantage of what we're saying, and other guys aren't.
Right.
Won't. And they
well, like you say, I mean, it would, even if you lost 10 seconds or 5 seconds doing it, if you don't finish the race, that 5 seconds doesn't matter. So.
Exactly. Hey, real quick, while we got a couple minutes here, I think we're only a minute out from having our leaders in. I was going to run down some, since we are past the halfway point of the race, I'm going to check in with some of these other classes. If you're watching, Motorcycle Mechanic Institute has our top 10 scrolling on the left side of the screen for different classes. You see our Junior A classes up there right now. Jay Shadron, by the way, welcoming him back.
Yeah.
He's leading that Junior A 22 plus class. Been a while since, well, I mean, we see him on occasion.
He raced Camp Coker our previous round, but he ran Sportsman. Here comes the leaders on the screen now. Jared still out front, still hanging on. Walker Fowler, I mean, just eating the dust, and Cole Richardson maybe a second or two behind. So
wow, man,
hanging in there as well. They should be popping across this road and through the finish line any second.
Here we were joking and talking after the last lap about Walker wanting a 2-minute plus lead at the checkers. Now he just wants a lead at the checker flag.
Right. Look at all J-Rod said, 2 minutes. How about you get the lead first? Yeah.
You have to wonder if that might have sparked these guys up. White flag is out. Leaders are in at the finish line, and they are nose to tail, folks. We're talking .855 between first and second. It says 2.2 seconds back to Cole Richardson, but visually it'll look so
Seems
much
like
tighter.
Nothing. Let's see if these guys, these Yamaha guys, swing in and grab a splash. I cannot imagine that they will, but man, if they do, that could be a game changer. No, they do. The gas can is out. They are.
Oh,
Will Cole get a splash? Cole just went by, but his pit is at the end of Pro Row.
Now that right there was
Cole is getting a splash.
Wow, now we can go back and say 2 laps ago, what a or 3 laps ago, what a move on the part of Jared McClure to elect to forego that pit stop after lap number 2. What a major chess move.
They're all pitting again. Jared with the brilliance in the group. I mean, wow.
Well, yeah, and you know that he's going to be walking on sunshine after this.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, well, it ain't over. But
if they track him down, which I can't imagine Walker's pit stop was any longer than 4 or 5 seconds.
They did
I mean,
it was, yeah, it wasn't a
so
full
to
tank of
close
gas.
that gap would not be huge.
Right.
But man, that's huge. That's crazy. And Cole also grabbed some fuel, so they did need it. But
wow,
man,
so far,
Jared needs to just breathe for maybe a brief second and then run.
.855 was the gap. .855. How
46
much?
at the bottom of the hill there. Oh no, they've already. Oh my, Jared. They've closed in on him, I believe. Yeah, he closed in quick. That's what I'm thinking. They might have. There is a little bit of a split line right before this FMF PowerPoint. There's 3 different ways to go. Jared must have followed them into the wrong line or something like that. But
yeah. That's funny. I mean, you can lose 3 seconds, and when you're in a race this tight, 3 seconds is monumental.
Yeah, and there's someone that's still not out of it. I mean, they get into the lappers good enough at some point. Chris Borch could close right in on this group. And we could have, what, a 5-way battle for the lead. I mean, we got Bryson Neal ready to strike.
Bryson was 15 seconds back of third-place position, Cole Richardson, whenever they came in. Last time on camera, he was a lot closer.
That's what I'm thinking. There had to be someone stuck just before this FMF PowerPoint, or someone crashed, or something of that nature. Wow.
Yeah, and those are the kind of things that change the face of the race. Just to give you an update, McClure, Fowler, Richardson, Neal, Porch, your top 5. Adam McGill checking in nearly a minute behind Chris Porch now. John Glada in the 7th place position, Hunter Hart in 8th. So we've seen Glada make up some ground, get back around Hart now. So they've got a good battle going on.
Right.
Good late race push by the youngsters, it looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, John Glada putting in some work there at the end. Got to hold it off. So how did you say how far apart they were, John Glada and Hunter Hart? Oh, wow. Barely apart.
Yeah.
Not even a second.
Not even a second.
Yeah.
0.8 of a second. Well, I'll tell you what, we have seen nothing but a basic race from the word go. It was, again, Jared McClure pulling that whole shot. We saw him pull that little wheelie there, kind of like I say, like rising up like the Cobra that he is. He struck first, he sank that Venom, and these guys have not yet been able to recover from that.
He hasn't lost the lead yet. So that's just very crazy.
It is. Walker Fowler getting back there, I think a 4th place start. It took him a while. He went into the 3rd place position, finally up to 2nd. There for just a moment, he was less than a second behind your leader, Jared McClure. But that's all changed with less than a lap to go. The big question is, will Jared McClure hang on to it and stop Walker Fowler's streak? Stick around. The Dunlop Motorcycle Tires High Point GNCC continues after this.
The Rock Run GNCC has always been known as just that, a rock run, but a whole lot of fun. And though there are a lot of rocks, this track has something for everyone. And on this day in Yamaha history 2011, it was no different. A young Jedediah Haynes grabbed the early hole shot, but it was New Zealand's Paul Whibley who gained early control. The Axeman Whibley, on board his Am-Pro-packed Yamaha, was able to pull away a 21-second lead at the end of lap number 1 over riders like Mike Lafferty, Charlie Mullins, Caleb Russell, Chris Bach, and many more. A hot, dry day made racing extremely challenging, testing the rider's skill, patience, and endurance. Josh Strang, the defending champion, laid chase to Whibley, closing that gap on lap number 2, and by the end of lap number 2, it put Paul Whibley nearly against the wall. A side-by-side battle through those rocks and through those trees and through that dust made for a lot of excitement. As the race wore on, Whibley saw that gap begin to widen back up. It went from 5 seconds at the end of lap number 2 to 19 seconds to 34 seconds, and by race's end, an amazing 1 minute and 56 seconds over second place. It was a banner day for Paul Whibley aboard his Am-Pro Yamaha, marking not only another great win for this rider, but also seeding the heart for a 2012 championship to follow only 1 year later. And that's this week in Yamaha history.
And welcome back to GNCC Live here on RacerTV.com. Rodney Tomlin along with Megawatt Matt Watson.
My man.
And, of course, Landon Wolf. And, boy, we got ourselves a great race here today. You know, you come in here thinking, and I'm going to admit it, I came in thinking the same thing. We're going to come and watch Walker Fowler go out and just demolish the entire field. Guess what? That's not been the case. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
And you know, a lot of people are surprised, Rodney. No two ways about it. You know, we talked on Mark Notman down there. He said the last couple starts, just Walker hasn't been himself, you know, for whatever reason. Just really hasn't got that drop. But being the white flag's out right now, go time has come, and pretty soon go time is gone.
Exactly.
So it's about time to make something happen. But if we take a look, what did you say the gap was?
It was, well, it was 0.8 of a second, but Walker had to stop for fuel, which widened it out to about 5 seconds.
Because what I was going to tell you, Jared come through, his pits were on. He got out of the pit, still had position. I mean, you had 5 people. I've never seen that many people on the quad before. And I want to tell you, they were high-fiving, jumping up and down. So let me tell you, he's got a whole bunch of people behind him right now.
No doubt about it. A lot of people are looking forward to seeing the possibility of McClure stop that streak here today. And speaking of streaks, I know that there's been a pretty good streak of racing going on in that XC2 Pro-Am class also. Drew Landers has been a rider to beat. He started out this race in 9th place. He's up to 4th place with 1 lap to go, it looks like. Brandon Owens continues to lead. He's got about a 30-second lead over the rest of the field, over Austin Abney, Ronnie Rush in 3rd, Drew Landers in 4th. Tanner Walker rounding out the top 5 as we take a look at that. Now, some of these other classes that are...
Did you say that was Owens?
Yes, out front.
We were talking about him earlier,
yes,
correct?
yes.
And he's leading
Still
Ronnie
leading.
Rush and...
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm
impressive.
telling you.
Yeah, impressive.
Chase Allison out ahead of Grayson Eller. These two still leading the amateur overall now, 21st and 22nd place overall. It is 0.3 of a second, or 3 seconds that separate Allison and Eller now as we watch that battle continue to unfold. Now in the number 3. He's another 9 seconds back, and these riders all turning nearly identical lap times within 10 seconds of one another. You have to know this last lap is going to be very intense. We know the intensity that the College A class brings. Cody Forrester back in the number 4 spot. Dalton Keys, another fast runner in this class, rounds out the top 5 right now aboard the 123 machine. As we take a look next at the Junior A 22+ class, welcoming back a familiar name to this one, Jay Shadron, the 424, a former XC1 Pro Class rider from several years ago. He made the jump up, I think, into the Pro Class race a year or two. And then, of course, he set out for the last few years, come back. I think he raced Sportsman A last race that at Camp Coker and said, I'm going to come back and try it again. He's leading Nick Davidson right now by 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Jeremy Ladon, who got the whole shot of Glenshaw, Pennsylvania, another minute back in 3rd. Alex Elioff in 4th out of Valley City, Ohio, and Justin Eisen out of Metamora, Indiana, rounds out your top 5 in that one. Our leaders due in here in less than a minute now at the 4-mile marker, the Monster Mile. So we'll get a good eye view exactly what's going on in this first place battle. Has Walker Fowler been able to bridge the gap? If so, has he been able to get around? Has, and he has. There he is, the number 1, Walker Fowler checking in, and he is all by himself at this particular moment. Where is their 2nd and 3rd, and they're going at it. That is, oh man, it looks like Colton Richardson's around. Where is, I did not see the number 5 of Jerry McClure. That was a lapped rider we just saw go by. There's Bryson Neal. If I'm looking at that right, that puts him in 3rd. There is 4th place. What happened to the Sneaky Snake? Is his visor bent back? Did he maybe take a spill out there? It looks like maybe his visor's hanging off the side there, so he could have had a little bit of an incident out there. That dropped him back to 4th place, lost several seconds in the process.
Rodney, it had to be an incident, because when I was just explaining to you, I've never seen so many people do a pit so quick. They were on their game. Everything was focused. He was out front. Like you said, 0.8, and then Walker had to stop. So, you know, a small gap, yes, but we fell back to 5th place. Possible bent up visor and that type of thing. Definitely some kind of altercation.
Yeah, hopefully we can get a word on that and see if maybe somebody knows what's going on. There's Chris Borich. He's down now, probably pushing close to a minute from that top 5 pack now as they make their way around. Landon Wolf making his way back in. We do have a change for the lead. I don't know if you've heard anything. We saw that Sneaky Snake the Cobra had dropped back to, was it fourth place? Fifth place position.
Fourth place, yes.
Fourth or fifth place. Looked like his visor was kind of hanging off. He may have had an incident. We're going to try to get a better look at him coming here at mile marker number 5 now, as our leaders should be checking in here about any time. So you see some of that lap traffic. This is, again, the Monster Mile. Riders are getting tired here late in the race. It is a 5-lap race, so a lot of these riders may be feeling like starting to feel the wear and tear of it. They got leaders coming in behind them, though. I just think I seen the leaders coming in there. Possible new leaders, what we're getting an update on here. So we'll see what the case is on that. And that would mean that maybe Colton Richardson had gotten, and he has.
Look at
Colton
this.
Richardson, the Cole train is out front, mercy. And couldn't it be 2 weeks in a row at the local and then bringing it home here to the national? Talk about the confidence builder that he had just 1 week ago. There's Walker Fowler. He is several seconds back. There is your third place ride. That is Bryson Neal now. Wow, something big's happening out there. There's got to be riders crossed up in the track going down. Riders, maybe they are crossing up and going down.
Rodney, that was not a simple pass. Something happened there. You didn't gain that much ground on acceleration. It just didn't happen. You didn't pass Walker Fowler and gap him on the same bike that quick, that easy.
Wow. I mean, talk about turn of events. You know, when you think you got one thing one way, bam, it changes. And then when you finally accept that, bam, it changes again. And that's what we like in GNCC. That's what keeps us coming back for more. What many people came out here to see a historic day for Walker Fowler, win number 60, and the possibility of keeping a perfect streak alive, is now watching him try to fight back for a win. And honestly, maybe podium at this point, as we are closing in completion of this race. We got about a half a lap or so left to go here, as our leaders just passing the 6 mile marker now.
I tell you.
So was Walker back out front there?
I thought he was second.
All right, so we'll catch back up with him here in just a moment. But that's just how crazy and confusing things are. I didn't quite realize that was the leader on the screen whenever they were first coming through. Now we're starting to pick up on the fact that the leaders are coming in right now. So we'll be watching for them a little closer through this 6 mile marker. But wow, what a crazy day. Like I said, a lot of things still up in the air. Cole Richardson leading this one. At last check, getting around Walker Fowler. That gap had opened up quite a bit back to Fowler. I'm talking probably at least 10 seconds or better, maybe better.
Right, Ted. And like I said, that's just not a simple pass and accelerating out of a corner right there to gain that kind of ground. There was a bobble, there was a hiccup, a misshift, something. Look at the moisture still in that dirt coming out of the woods, Rodney.
Yeah, and you know, and
that transition is going to be brutal. You know what I mean? Coming out of that perfect traction into the talcum powder.
And honestly, that's good news for those riders, because I mean, they do at least get a break from the dusty conditions, because the conditions are perfect under those trees right now and under those leaves. So you know, the only dust they are dealing with is out in the open field sections like that. So, but like you said, it is going to be brutal when they come, and you better believe they're going to be riding the outsides of those berms. They're going to be kicking up those flumes as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, the thing is, the longer it goes, the rougher it gets. You search the edges, and the same thing happens as things get dusty. Well, guess what happens? You push all that dust to the outside. Now all of a sudden you go riding that outside looking for a smooth line. Man, you can get sucked under into powder really quick, or you're just eating so much dust out there that it wasn't worth the effort.
Right.
Well, I can tell you this much, Rodney. Bolton said this morning, and he said, I say this every week, there's something for everybody. But there really has been something for everybody in this one today.
There's your leader, Cole Richardson, out in the open field section. He doesn't even look to be anywhat distressed.
No.
He doesn't feel pressure at all. Talk about Sunday cruise. That's a Saturday afternoon cruise. There is Walker Fowler, like you said, still about 10 seconds back. Now, Walker riding with a little bit more sense of urgency, but look at who's riding with a sense of urgency now. He smells blood in the water. Not only does he, I mean, he realizes likely that maybe he's not going to take the win, but if he can get around Walker and talk about that mind game thing, not only does Walker get beat, but then all of a sudden he gets passed on the last lap and you get him back to third place position. What kind of mind games is that going to play with him? And then what kind of beast is that going to open up at the same time?
Yeah, that's the interesting point to that. You know, we always talk about the mind games, but you know what? A big win, a big move, passing a guy for the podium, you know, that you've been striving to beat regardless, whether it's for the win or not, Rodney, that gives confidence.
And here we go into the wood section. That was, I believe, Walker Fowler we saw going in from our Yamaha Racing Skycam. So once again, yes, Cole Richardson is your leader if you're just tuning in. It's been a whale of a race so far. Sneaky Snake, a.k.a. the Cobra, striking fast and hard. Looks like here on this lap at the Monster Mile, something happening in that Monster Mile. Jared McClure coming out from first, dropping all the way back to a fifth place position. Looked a little rattled a little bit, but still on the gas, but lost quite a bit of time out there. So that was certainly something that is going to be talked about for a long time, especially down in the McClure pits. Talk about doing epic stuff, man. He's doing some epic stuff out here today.
He absolutely is. And the other side of that is, you mentioned Cole Richardson looking composed. Well, he came out of the Monster Mile with the lead and looks like he belongs there, you know, has that confidence going, has that flow going. And I don't see him letting up between now and the finish line one bit.
No, I don't either. And, you know, the confidence that we're talking about spilling over from just 1 week ago at a local CRA in northeastern Ohio. I mean,
there it is.
And here's another thing that I have often heard Walker Fowler say, that his biggest competitor on the racetrack, you know, he talks about Bryson, he talks about those guys, but he says his most consistent threat that he feels on the racetrack does come from that number 4 machine of Cole Richardson. Not that he's taken anything away from Bryson Neal or any of the rest of the competition, but he says his most consistent threats come from Cole Richardson. He says, if that boy can get her figured out, I'm in trouble, is what he said.
Well, and they tend to be around each other a little bit more, and, you know, they're familiar with each other. But like Walker says, he analyzes everybody, and what he sees, the biggest threat to his win streak is Cole Richardson.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Less than 6 minutes. We're about 5.5 minutes out from a checker flag here. And we've been running through some of these classes. We ran through the Junior A few moments ago. I want to check in. I know there's some interest in the Vet A class. So we'll take a look. Vet A 30-plus class. We have EMTB GNCC Racing coming up. The start will be, folks, if you're wondering, on the pro road in front of KTM and different places like that. So taking a look at the Vet A 30-plus class now, Jeff Pickett, Big Papa P, 2-minute 56-second lead over the 187 of Wes Kinsley from Morgantown. Hometown boy Michael Lancaster also from Morgantown. The 807 in third, Zachary Phillips in fourth out of Parsons, and Dustin Hendershot out of St. Mary's, West Virginia, rounds out the top 5. Wow, 1 PA guy, 4 West Virginia guys. We are in the heart of the GNCC Racing Nation. Senior A 40-plus class. TJ Barrett out of Morrisville, New York. Out front, Brian Axline in the number 2 spot on the 416. The 530, Brian Foltz from Sharpsville, PA in third. Mark Batson, the 636 of LaSalle, Michigan in fourth. Jeremy Gouchard from Mansfield, Ohio rounds out your top 5. Waiting on our leaders out here near the, I believe that is the 9-mile marker we'll be coming up to. College B real quick, Dominic Stevens, Levi Myers, Jacob Fleming, Colton Dobbs, and Chance Hicken. I believe that was Cole Richardson we just saw going by there just a moment ago, so he does have quite a bit of a lead, and I may have just heard a radio update coming in, Megawatt. I swear I heard Walker in third, but that might have been.
That what I heard something too, and that, you know what, when you say that, that's what it sounded like now.
Yeah, so we'll be paying attention here. There's Cole Richardson right there, so we got him in sight. Now we'll be watching back there for that second place position. You see he's coming up on lap traffic. You see what he's doing. He's looking over behind his shoulder just to see where that competition is. And I'm sure he, like everybody else through that section, having a tough time to see him very far. But I can guarantee you he knows about where second place is on this racetrack right now. The question is, does he know who second place may be? There's Bryson Neal. That's Bryson Neal. I was going to say Walker Fowler. That was Walker Fowler on the inside of that lapped rider, so he is still in the second place position, so there is no change there. So whoever sent that update in might have missed something out there too, just like was easy to do as we saw in that camera shot. But nonetheless, that was Walker that went through in second, so Bryson Neal back in the number 3 spot now. 9-mile marker, that puts us about 2 miles out from the finish. Maybe only a little more than a mile, because I think it's only like 10 1/4 miles maybe. So less than 3 minutes, we should expect to see our leaders checking in. And this goes from a race, listen to this, on the last lap, Jared McClure, Walker Fowler, Cole Richardson, Bryson Neal, Chris Borich, your top 5.
Wow.
Then it was Walker Fowler, Cole Richardson, Bryson Neal, Chris Borich, Jared McClure. Now it's Cole Richardson, Walker Fowler, Bryson Neal, Chris Borich, and Jared McClure. So that top 5, now they may remain the same top 5, but it's changed that much on that one lap of racing.
Wow.
And there is that 4th or 5th place ride, the number, actually 4th place ride, I think, the number 3 of Chris Borich, and I think that we should be seeing the number 5 machine checking in behind him. So that's, I mean, the running order, as we said, I know I might have confused you, but like we said, the running order is now Cole Richardson out front, Walker Fowler 2nd, Bryson Neal in 3rd. So we wait now with bated breath, as I like to say here, in the closing moments of this High Point GNCC. The last time we had a High Point GNCC, 2002 at High Point, and Bill Balance, Bradley Page, and Matt Smiley were the riders that were duking it out to the finish line checkers. Today it's a new generation, a new era of riders, and also a new slate of names. The only name familiar in that whole list of names, maybe you might recognize Bill Balance, obviously, but Chris Borich, a young Chris Borich at that time before he began winning his national championships. But today,
it was training day for Chris Borich.
Yeah, but today we wait nearly 2 decades later in the fields of the Matthews Farms, from the shadows of High Point Raceway in the Power Towers, the place is so commonly known for, to find out who is going to be crowned this High Point GNCC champion. Lapped riders making their way through. And there
he is.
No.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. That's number 4. Yep, that was him. He just calm, cool, collected. He does not feel any pressure, does not feel any heat. But look at the difference in his style of riding. A little more aggressive as they're closing in on these last few yards toward the checker flag. There is Cole Richardson making his way in. And, of course, on his way to history as he breaks the win streak of Walker Fowler in 2020 and stops his winning at 59, at least for the day. And the checkers are out, and Cole Richardson takes the High Point GNCC win.
Wow, incredible race, Rodney. Drama every lap, lead changes every lap, passing going on, some pit tactics as well. So I mean, a little bit of everything
it
going
almost
on,
paid off. It almost paid off for Jared McClure. It'd be interesting to find out what really did happen back there to drop him off the way that he fell off. I will head down to the pits here in just a moment, Megawatt, if you want to kind of keep things going here for us in a few minutes. But, man, I tell you, brother, what a great day. I mean, a good day for all of our riders, Walker Fowler included. I mean, he had his struggles today, but he overcome a lot of them to be able to finish a very strong second-place position. And though it wasn't win number 60, the historic win that he was hoping for, and though his win streak for 2020 has been stopped at 5 wins, still a good points day, a good day, a solid day. And that's the kind of days, that's the kind of rides that win championships, and regardless of whether you win them all or not. You just stay up there in the thick of things, and things are going to work out well for you.
Yeah, I like it that you brought that up. Championships are won on your bad days, Rodney, not your good days.
and remarkably, this is one of Walker's, I think, like his third bad day of the year so far. He's just been able to come out on top in the last race. Bryson Neal, good race for him as well. Can't take anything away from the Bidwell Bullet as he was firing on all cylinders today. Jared McClure in that 4th spot, and looks like Chris Borch should be your 5th place position. So it was McClure in 4th, the Borch back in the number 5 spot. But get this, only 20 seconds back out of a podium position was Jared McClure after all that. So heartbreaker there for the Cobra. But my friends, what a day for that rider right there. Cole Richardson taking the big win here at High Point. Probably the one that is certainly going to ring a lot of bells and open up a lot of eyes on a lot of different levels, and it may be waking up that beast within Walker Fowler too. You know, we talk about demoralization. Sometimes you don't demoralize the rider. Sometimes you basically wake them up. But this is 2 weeks. This is 2 weeks in a row, a local race, and now this race that Cole's been able to do it. So, hey man, it's kind of consistent, pretty cool to see. Tell you what, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to run down, try to catch these guys down in the pits. We'll get some interviews with them and, of course, find out how their day went, what exactly transpired over the course of this day, because it certainly had a lot of events, just like you talked about there, Megawatt. We'll take that break, and we'll be back with more GNCC Live right after this.
Yamaha GNCC University returns, calling all ATV and motorcycle off-road racers. Are you looking to hone your riding and racing skills? Want to learn hands-on with the best of the best past and current GNCC racers and champions? Then sign up for the 2020 Yamaha GNCC University, returning to Snowshoe Mountain Resort September 23rd through the 25th. We're bringing together Yamaha's ATV and motorcycle racing elites to instruct in-depth courses on fundamentals of racing and riding. During the Yamaha GNCC University, students will participate in lectures about sportsmanship, training, proper nutrition, and mental preparation, along with hands-on skills and drills designed to improve your riding and confidence in a variety of terrain and situations. Reservations are on a first-come, first-served basis with limited openings, evenly split between the disciplines. For more details and to register, call Snowshoe Mountain Resort at 877-441-4386. We look forward to seeing you at the top of Snowshoe Mountain, then on top of the podium.
All right, what an exciting day of racing here in southeastern Pennsylvania. The High Point GNCC, Cole Richardson with the win here today in our pro main event. Walker Fowler, of course, with a hard-fought second-place finish. And I tell you what, Bryson Neal, holy cow, early leader in this one. Then Jared McClure taking the lead. Those guys in third and fourth, respectively. old trusty Chris Borish, man, that number 3 machine fought back and forth all day long, able to finish up in that number 5 position. So we're going to send it to Rodney right now.
All right, we're down here at the finish line now, and of course, wow, I tell you what an amazing race day we had. We saw such an intense battle up front, and wow, everything just broke loose on that last lap. Talking to Colton Richardson, well, I was wiping his mic down. He said, "Don't worry about it." He said, "I got my gloves on, and probably everything that I ate on that last lap was a lot worse than anything that you could throw at me." Dude, talk about that. What did you eat out there? I mean, you were in 3rd place, but I mean, you 3 were right there together. I mean, in that last lap, very, very intense.
You know, it's funny. We went out and biked the track Friday, and 2 years ago when we got our first win here, the track was a lot like that. And, you know, towards the end there was honestly like deja vu, and literally replayed 2 years ago when I got my first win with me and Walker. And, you know, we got off to a good start, though. That's what we needed. It was a little dusty in the fields, but honestly it wasn't as bad as I expected. You know, last year was way worse, but you know, Jared actually put a real good pace down at the beginning, and I just quite couldn't hang with him. And, you know, Walker caught me, but, you know, we didn't want to make it easy on him. And, you know, I just kept pushing, and, you know, we pitted a lap early. Jared kept going, and I didn't seem like I was reeling in Jared too quick, so I actually let Walker around because, you know, it gave us a better chance to get up front and, you know, possibly win towards the end. And sooner enough, we caught Jared. I think he got messed up with a lap, or Walker passed him. Jared got going, I was behind him, and then about a mile later, Jared, I think, clipped a tree in the dust, got around him, and Walker kind of had a little buffer. We closed the gap on that, and I went around the corner, and he was, I think a lapper might have kind of screwed him, and he took the wrong line and, you know, was off his quad trying to push it back, and we got into the lead, and literally reminded me of 2 years ago when he was leading. I caught back up. He hit a tree that time, though, and I literally led almost the same exact track to the finish, and I was just like, don't make a mistake, and, you know, we ended up in 1st place.
Wow, man, and it's been a while, and to be back on top like this, I mean, you've been shadowing Walker so much, and you've been right there behind him here at the GNCCs. I understand last week at a local CRA, you were able to get on top of the box there, and to be able to do it 2 weeks in a row, man, it's got to make you feel pretty good, huh? All right, well, I tell you what, man, you certainly put on a show for the race fans here today. Congratulations to you, and thank you for a great ride today. Yep.
Actually, not sure how quick Rodney was going to be able to round him up, and sure enough, he's going to make his way over to Walker's place and get a word with him real quick. Again, want to recap today's racing. Just had an amazing start this morning. Had a youth race that just back and forth. Had a leader for 3 laps, and then at the end of 3 laps, we have a new leader. Deering was not able to close it out, and sure enough, just an incredible finish with our AM youth race. And then when we talk about our 11 o'clock race, holy cow, we had Landon in here earlier. Landon with the 4x4 Pro win today. Lane McCormick with the overall win this morning at 11 o'clock in the schoolboy senior class. And holy cow, WXC, Tracy Pickens able to put that thing together on the last lap. And incredible day today, racing throughout. And then when you look at the lead changes in this main event today, holy cow, every lap drama, every lap a new leader. And pretty much what you can expect out of GNCC. And I got to tell you, looks like newfound confidence out of Colton Richardson right now, able to put it together a couple weeks in a row. And when you get that kind of confidence, when you get that kind of momentum going, it's a tough thing to stop sometimes. And right now, Cole continuing to build on that each and every week. And right now, a great position for him to be in, and bad news for the competition. Going to have mountain bike racing coming up here just about 4:30. That's going to start, I believe, down on Pro Row is where that's going to start, down in front of KTM or something. down there, so we'll have to double check and find that out. But that's going to take place here in a little bit, and then we're going to be pit bike racing later on this evening. So all kinds of activities yet here this evening. And right now waiting on Rodney to work his way over to either Walker or Bryson Neal, one of these guys, find out exactly what the inside scoop was. Riders. Riders continue to make their way in through this finish line. Rough day out there for a lot of them, a few bottlenecks here and there, and just tells you a testament of how fast these leaders really are. These guys up front putting this thing to bed in about 2 hours and 2 minutes, something like that, 2 hours and 1 minute. And as you see, riders still exiting the track from all classes, and our sweep riders out there doing a good job making sure everybody's safe and secure and making their way back into the pits. But I can tell you, long day out there for a lot of these riders, starting back in some of the age classes, some of the B classes back there. Sure, it was a long day for those riders. Tomorrow we're going to do it all over again, except on 2 wheels. Going to start in the morning, going to get our youth bikes in the morning. I have our AM race and, of course, our pro race afternoon. But right now, we're going to send it back down to Raleigh Tomlin and get the rest of the story.
All righty, thanks a lot, Megawatt, down here on BP Fuels Pro Road now as we get set to talk with Bryson Neal, our third-place position finisher here today. Man, I tell you what, it's been a whale of a year, and today's race, what a race. I mean, it was anybody's ball game, it seemed like, on that one. You were in the thick of things, it seemed like, all day long today.
I just seemed like I was that guy who's just like a yo-yo the whole time. I was always that guy who's just the guy in front of me about 5 seconds. I was gritting my teeth. I was riding hard. My bike was working good. The track was awesome, but you know, I just couldn't get close to those guys to make a pass. It was so hard to make up time on this track today. It was turned out to be really good in the woods. It tacked up really nice, but it was so fast and really hard to make up time. But yeah, it was a blast. Everyone was on it today. Hell, I didn't even know that Jared was in the lead. I had no idea on the last lap, and then I saw him with his visor all cucked and his rear tire was flopping, and I passed him. I was like, oh, I didn't even know. So everyone was riding really good today. Everyone had a really good pace, and you know, to get out of this with everyone riding good and get on the podium, we're happy. You know, looking forward to the next one in John Penton in Athens.
Yeah, I'm sure. Wow, it's happening for both of us, I guess, here. But nonetheless, I mean, what a day. I mean, it was anybody's race day as far as the racing was concerned today, I believe, because, I mean, when you look at the big picture, like you said, you didn't know Jared was winning, but whenever you all kind of came together there with that lap, on that last lap, I mean, that had to really be kind of invigorating, I think, when you got to see those guys and realize exactly where you were at.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Walker. I think he made a little mistake, but I saw him right in front of me, and he's about 5 seconds, and we just held that gap for, like, it seemed like the last 5 miles, and I was trying to dig deep and trying to get up on his rear tires, but we hit a couple lappers and the gap, and it was just super hard to make up time. But yeah, man, it was a tough track to make up time, and everyone was riding really good, and I think it's really good to pull off a podium today with these conditions, and we're happy. So everything's working good, and looking forward to the next one.
All right, man. Congratulations to you on another podium this year.
Thank you, Rodney.
All right, so Bryson Neal giving us his story on the day, and what a story it was. Saw just about a little bit of everything for the number 2 today, and sure, Rodney's on his way to find Walker Fowler right now. I believe Walker already back in his truck. So Bryson telling you a little bit about how it went down, and I got to tell you, you didn't hear him talk about too much as far as dust or traction or that kind of thing. Just talking about the race condition of these guys and the competition, and more about the output, more so than the track. So Bryson knows exactly what he needs to do. Had a great ride today, and things getting shaken up on these last 2 laps. But I can tell you, whole new set of reinvigorated riders, I'm sure, now that they found a chink in the armor of Walker Fowler. And right now they want to focus and capitalize on that. But as you can see, nobody getting excited over in Walker's camp. Got several rounds to go yet. Got a commanding lead right now, and sure enough, Rodney making his way over there right now into Walker's pits. Moving forward right now, race management, championship management, going to be the utmost concern. Don't want to break the bike, don't want to break the body, don't want to lose any opportunities, don't want to give away any foolish points by any means, and I'm sure that's exactly what Walker's going to tell us here in just a few moments. Again, E-Mountain Bikes getting ready to start in just a few minutes. Going to get everybody lined up down there, I believe, in front of KTM in the pro pits. If you haven't watched an E-Mountain Bike yet, E-Mountain Bike race, you need to do that. A lot of fun. Got to watch my first one at Loretta Lynn's last year, and tell you, I was really impressed with the youngsters. Talon Hawk and the Randy Hawkins' son, can't remember his first name, but great job by those guys. Very intense level of racing, and then competitors all the way up into the mid-60s. So really, really, really neat competition at E-Mountain Bike Racing. If you guys haven't done so, you need to get signed up for tomorrow. Not have to rush in the morning. Make sure you have all your preparation to make this evening. All right, look like Rodney's just about ready. Take a look at some of our other classes here while he's getting ready. Take a look at our Senior B, plus 40 Senior B. Looks like Jason Flaviano out front, Daniel DeContour in that number 2 position, Nick Lambruno out of Morgantown in that 3 ride, Jason Limley in that 4th position, Scott Wilhelm in that number 5 spot, Chad Wallace in 6th, Ivo Pjalik in that number 7 ride, Jeffrey Kuhn in that number 8 position, Scott Judas in that 9 ride, and Greg Phillips rounding out the top 10 in your Senior B 40 plus. All right. Well, it's been an amazing day here. No doubt about it at the High Point GNCC. No rain in the forecast for the rest of the evening here. Yep. And going to take just a minute here. Looks like we're going to get a quick word with Walker Fowler and get his takes on the day's events. Find out about his thoughts on today's track. And we're going to send it down to Rodney right now.
All right, thanks a lot, Megawatt. Down here on the VP Fuels Pro Row, when we finally get him out, Walker looked like you went and took a shower and got yourself all cleaned up and everything since then. We've been waiting on you for the last couple of seconds, but yeah, getting dressed and getting refreshed. Wow, what a race day today, man! And I know you're one of those riders. You came in, the idea was win number 60 and was to keep that perfect streak going here for 2012, but that quickly became a matter of let's just. Number 1, let's finish on the podium and let's try to get a win at this point.
Yeah, definitely didn't get the start we needed, and it was game over. Not dusty, just a very one-line track, and you know, we kind of knew that coming into this race, and our starts are usually pretty good, and the last 2 races they've been garbage, so we got a lot to work on. I think that's the biggest issue. We get laxed, and the team lets their guard down, and you know, collectively it's, you know, mostly my fault, but there's a lot of things about this race that our heads weren't in the right place, and you know, our focus was in the wrong place, and when that happens, obviously people take advantage of it. So we need to take a couple days, get our heads out of our butt, and regroup and come back fire mad.
I'll tell you what, even though Jared ended up not winning the race, pitting strategies played a big deal in today's racing. You had to stop for gas twice today, and that kind of put you behind the 8 ball because you were less than a second behind when we came through on the white flag lap, but you still had to stop and get a splash of gas.
Yeah, these Yamahas are they're gas thirsty. They love VP racing fuel. So we knew that coming in too. We didn't know if we were going to try to stop 2 and 4, 1 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and whatever. 1 and 2. It just depends. Track length and intensity of the race, and we just had to. 2 and 4 is what it was. Richardson was on the same pit schedule, which I'm actually shocked. His bike gets a little bit better fuel economy, but we were running pretty hard, so he must have known that the last lap was going to be. They were going to be thirsty. So those Hondas, they can run a lot longer, but I think we ended up having a podium sweep for Yamaha again. So I think that's a testament to the product, and it's they might be thirsty, but man, we can put some power to the ground and have a good time doing it.
No doubt, and I know it's a bittersweet day for you, man. Like you say, you got all Yamahas up on the podium, but as bad as you wanted to take this win, I mean, there was a lot that I'm sure, historically speaking, that would have been nice to taken a win. But the good thing about it is, got another race in Ohio, your home state in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, we're not losing that one. I'll tell you that right now. Not a freaking chance. So. We got 2 weeks. Cole can enjoy it. Hats off to him. This is his track. He rides lights out here. I kind of knew that coming in, and I was hoping I made the right choices on the machine. We made some setup changes this morning, and I regret that. I shouldn't have never changed nothing. I was trying to figure out how to get that one step ahead that I needed to be because I knew Cole was going to be tough, and I was wrong. So, we're going to regroup, and Ohio's going to be fun.
We'll see you at home in 2 weeks, buddy.
Absolutely.
Good luck. All right, that's Walker Fowler taking third place here today at this Dunlop Tires GNCC. Anything else that you might want to add before we let you go?
Definitely just want to give the glory to God first and foremost. Safety, coming off the track safe is what really matters. We love winning, and it's frustrating when we don't, but that's not the end goal. Definitely got to give it up to the whole WFR, Land Mills, GBC Fly Racing Yamaha team. Guys, they stick behind it, and if a second place is our bad day, that's still pretty impressive. Definitely got to give it up to Tire Balls and Gold Speed Wheels, Lone Star Components, Fox Suspension, and just all our fine sponsors. Hinson Clutches, and now I'm talking to the ground, so this is fun. All the awesome fans, my friends and family that came out no matter what, win, lose, sunshine, rain, so always good to have them, the cheering section, and it was fun. Just a little frustrated. Well,
from high above High Point Raceway on our Yamaha Skydrome, you look around and you see this historic property, the Matthews Farms, and, of course, High Point Raceway. Congratulations on a podium position finish here today, Walker Fowler.
Thank you, Rodney.
And, of course, that's going to wrap things up for us here on RacerTV.com. Don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow about 1 o'clock as we'll kick things off for the two-wheel side of things and see what kind of excitement we can muster up here once again. For all of us here from RacerTV.com, my co-host, of course, today, Mr. Megawatt, Matt Watson. Also, thanks to Landon Wolf. I'm Rodney Tomlin. Have a great day, everybody.